but I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if this camera is going to pick up the internet really well here. I don't know. Yes. I don't understand. I hate when this happens. Just scrolling, sharing some links. Amazing night. You too, Kayla. Thank you. Thanks, Kayla. I don't know how it's working out, but I'm gonna try to see if I can join on the other. See if I have to read comments and stuff. I'll join my other account that I have, and let's see. Let me go here. Come on. That's so Chris. Praise him. Alright, so let's see what I'm going to do. I want to join the other one. I want to see. Because I want to hear the, I want to see the comments, so that way if I have to look at comments, I know what's going on. Alright, so. Put this here for now. Yeah. Oh, wait. You know what I'm going to do? I got to turn this light on. I'd be happy if I did turn this light on and it works. See, oh, that's bright. How's it look? I'm going blind. All right. Let's see if we got some people in here. Hi, guys. Oh, there's 26 people in here. Hello. Welcome to the stream, the live. And I think I'm going to do sausage and peppers. But I'm just trying to, try to get this is my first live, so I'm trying to, get used to it. And I hope you guys are having a great night. And it's 9:30 here, where I'm at in New York. And wow, there were 4 people in here, 20-something people in here, I thought. Anyway, but that's okay. Welcome. So I am going to, I got this pot from Walmart, and it's actually Pioneer Woman. And I've actually, if you guys follow Mississippi Queen, who does food, she actually uses a lot of the products from Walmart, especially the Pioneer Woman. She loves Pioneer Woman. And I have some of Pioneer Woman stuff too. For a couple of years I've had it. I got glasses. I bought up this tray. It's this really nice crystal, really glass tray. I never used it. Maybe I might have, maybe once, but when I moved, I took it with me. So I am trying to figure out what I'm going to do first, and I'm going to try to start making some sausages and peppers. I was going to just do a video, but I said let me try to go live for the first time and see how it works out. You know what I mean? So if you're joining me right now, welcome to the live, and this is a cooking. I do cooking and stuff like that. I'm actually a cake decorator, really, but cooking is another passion of mine, as it combines into that, and I make good food, and everybody's like my food, so I'm really blessed with both gifts of cooking and baking. So let's see if I could have to go live together. Oh, it's giving me suggestions. Oh, okay. So guys, if you guys have seen me read off stuff, just forgive me, because I'm new to this, so I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be I'm reading everything, but so basically, yeah, so we're gonna start doing some peppers and onions. I'm gonna actually get a cutting board, which I just washed the cutting board, and I'm gonna Matter of fact, I'm going to get my little apron. Can't forget my apron. Because when I cook, I normally don't wear an apron, but when I cook, I do wear an apron or I bake. That way I don't get flour or stuff on me. So if you're a first-time cook, guys, you want to, you know, I don't know what, it's giving me all the, I'm sorry, guys, excuse me one second. It's giving me all these weird commands because I'm just going through all this new stuff. So please forgive me. What are we cooking? Okay. Hi. We are cooking sausage and peppers. I'm making this. I actually wanted to make this for a while because I have somebody who follows me, and I've been following him for a while. His name is Aaron, and he does Hank Bob. I think that's his name. Should have been following him since I started on TikTok. And he did sausage and peppers, and he did this spicy sausage. And I was like, oh, that looks so good. And I said, dude, I'm going to make Italian, sausage and peppers. Now, there are two ways of doing sausage and peppers. And the first way is the traditional way that my dad did. Well, my mom made it one way, and my father made it another way. So my mom made it with sauce, and my father made it just a regular way, like you get it at the, if you go to one of the feasts or one of the trucks that you come across that make sausage and peppers and onions like that, they make it like that. And so I tell you, my parents did. It was almost like, well, I'm making it this way. Well, I'm making it that way. And I'm like, just make up your freaking mind and just make it, so. Oh, thank you so much for sending the chili. Oh, you didn't have to do that. Thank you. Oh, that is so awesome. Thank you so much. So let me put my apron on, brand new apron. So, I leave it loose because you never know, you got to run or something. So I have a small kitchen. So, I live in an apartment, so it's kind of, daunting for me when I'm trying to do stuff. So my cutting boards are here. I usually put them up on the wall. I actually did this, hack, if you take, Dollar Tree, if you take two napkin holders and you zip tie them together, you could put stuff in there. I put my cutting boards against the wall. I'll show you guys. I'll turn it this way, and I gotta remember to turn it back the right way. See my wooden board right there? So then this goes there. I know I got crap here, but I got the thing here, and I got my cutting boards, and I just put them in like this, like that, and it makes it really easy there. And I have my honer, and I have my knife sharpener in my drawer, which I have this thing I bought at what's that place called? Harbor Freight. My friend who I used to work with at the restaurant, pizzeria, he had this, and I said, where'd you get this? And he goes, I got it at Harbor Freight. And I go, awesome. I said, because it's got 3 different grits, 600, 400, and 300, and 200. That way, if you're not familiar with knife sharpening, the different grits, the higher the grit, the finer, when you sharpen the knife, the finer the grit will be. So, hopefully we'll get to that one day on stream or a video or something like that. And if you guys just saw my video that I posted on coffee, if you check that out, Basic 101 on coffee, there's a lot of people that don't know how to make coffee. And I've come across a lot of people that didn't know how to make coffee because they make it too strong. My aunt, now I don't think I didn't mention this in the video, but my aunt, my father's oldest sister, she'd make coffee really strong. So that's why I would say enough to smack your grandmother, it's so strong. You could do, crazy, makes you do crazy, stupid things, if that's how strong it is. So, but there's people that make it weak too. And I didn't know how to make it. And I learned. I forgot where I learned. I can't remember. But I did learn, and I was able to make coffee right. So if you guys want to check that video out, check it out in my profile. So, but again, thank you. I want to welcome everybody who's coming in right now to the live. I'm going to try to do some sausage and peppers tonight. A different type of way, not the traditional way that you see at the feasts and stuff like that. Again, my mom made it a different way, and my father made it the traditional way. Still both Italian, both ways, but one has sauce, and one doesn't have it. Check the live and see who's up in here. Thank you very much. Hi, Jerry. Jerry. Oh my gosh, I love your. Honestly, I know it's hard, like when we conversate during the comments and stuff. I love your stuff. You remind me so much of my family. Because my aunt. My aunt will cook. Matter of fact, speaking of my aunt, and matter of fact, Ashton from Food Talk TV, Granny. Oh gosh, I am really bad with names. Try to remember. Just like Granny. Oh, she's gonna kill me. Just like Granny. She asked me when we talked about my aunt in the live, and they did Food Talk TV live a little while ago, and I was talking about my aunt. She said, you need to share a story time. So I'm going to share a story time in the live right now. My Aunt Margie, she was my father's first cousin, and I called her Aunt Margie because she was like an aunt to me. She was an aunt to us and stuff like that. And we were very close with her, and she lived on Long Island, New York, and we would go almost every weekend if we could. And my aunt cooked. She was like a gourmet cook. She went to Chinese. She went to a school, and they would show her how to make Chinese cooking. Let me tell you, the best Chinese food I've ever had in my entire life. And it wasn't like America. It was like the real stuff that you would get in really like Chinatown Chinese that even the Chinese people would eat. Honestly, not the American style. And like, she did this whole spread for my grandmother one year. I don't know if we went. I don't remember. I was so young. But she had so much an impression on me, my aunt, because she'd make so much food that she would overdo, and it was always enough. Everybody was fed. She made gallons of like Crystal Light, and she was amazing. And she brought a lot of memories for me. And I miss Aunt Margie. I really do. Sorry, I don't mean to get emotional, but I miss my Aunt Margie. And it just gives some good memories, and I really enjoyed that. She was also a catalyst for my learning how to cook and stuff like that too. Gotta go. Oh, you too, City Girl. Thanks for stopping in. I really appreciate it. Have a great night. Did I do anything? Did I miss anything? Let me see. Oh, you're in Chicago. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, okay, you're Chicago. Yeah, Aunt Margie, she's and one thing she used to make was Death by Chocolate. And the recipe is from Mr. Food. And I don't know if Mr. Food was big. You remember Mr. Food on Channel 7 in New York City? He was big. She got the recipe from him, and she told me, I didn't remember, but I found it later on. My friend who you saw in the video that I made her cookies, she has Mr. Food's book, and when I opened the book, I was checking out, and I was like, I said, bro, that's the same exact recipe my Aunt Margie did. I said, she got it from Mr. Food, now I remember. And this thing was such a hit that one year she made it, because it goes in a trifle bowl. I turn around, it was gone. Sorry, Christopher, it's gone. I'm like, I didn't even get any. That's how fast it went. That's how popular it was. So, and then one year my aunt got mad at me. I said, hey, Margie, how do you make the thing? And she said, I'm not going to tell you again. Yeah, mother. It's this, Christopher. It's that. She would like be so over dramatic. But that Margie was awesome though. She was just she was an excellent cook. Excellent. And I have other stories about Aunt Margie with family and stuff, but I'll get into that later on and stuff. You're gonna be live tomorrow? Oh, good. Okay, I'll try to. What's tomorrow? 5 o'clock. Okay, so then we're an hour behind each other, I think. So that's 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, everybody asked me like you saw my video on how I made arroz con gandules and stuff like that. Um, that that is one of the best things. I cook really well too, and I love that. But I don't eat it as much as I used to because I try not to eat so much rice. But I'm not saying rice is not bad. It's good. I love my rice, but you know, I remember my grandma used to make chichi beans and rice and stuff like that. What else we got in here? Okay, awesome. Thank you for the likes. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I am going to start. I'm going to get the cutting board. Like I said, I was going to get the cutting board, which... Oh, wait. Hold on a minute. Okay, guys. Here's a trick that I do when you're using a cutting board. Now, I'm cutting on my stove, so that I really don't have that really much room. I'm hoping one day I can try to figure out how to negate through this kitchen. You take this thing where you buy from Dollar Tree or any dollar store. It's that non-slippery thing that comes in a roll. Cut a piece, put it down on your surface that slips, and then put your cutting board right down on it. And that won't slide. It will not slide. Is that awesome? So, I got some onions that my friend gave me, and I want to use them because I want to get rid of them. I don't want them sitting around. So I am going to get my knife here. Let's see. I'm going to use this knife. I don't know how sharp it is. It should be sharp enough. But I'm going to hold this in. So I'm going to... I remember as a kid, I remember my father doing this, and I first asked him, Dad, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm sharpening a knife. What do you think I'm doing? Oh, I didn't know. I was like 8. I'm like, what does that do? And he told me. So, all right, we're gonna cut this first. Now I'm trying to, I don't know if the camera's picking this up, I really can't see. Or maybe I can, maybe move the camera a little down further so you guys could see what you're doing, what I'm doing here. So, I'm gonna cut this off here. We're slicing, we're not dicing it, so cut that off, the bottom off. Excuse me, I'm gonna get the garbage pail. Make it easy for me. I like to have a garbage pail right by me. I mean, I'm not like Rachel. I used to do Rachel Ray thing with the garbage bowl. It made it easier, and I thought that was an awesome idea. But then I didn't want to have a garbage bowl. Yeah, right. It is. It's like amazing. It's like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, yeah, because this thing is slippery, and it's dangerous when you're cutting. Yeah. So I'm going to cut that onion. And I just got the garbage here, and I just dump it in there, and then I'm going to cut this on the side here. Peel back that skin. That's one thing I don't like doing, peeling onions. I hate peeling onions. It's so daunting because you got to get the skin off, and then you try to get the skin off, and then you try to get as much as you can off. Let's see. It was rain. Well, it was raining today, misty here in New York, where I'm at. I don't live in New York City. I live mid-Hudson Valley. So it's kind of a little different. Sometimes the weather is almost the same like in New York City or Long Island, tri-state area. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes we'll get snow, and sometimes the city don't get snow. Sometimes the city gets snow and we get snow, and it's more. So, that's one thing I don't like. Onion peels. All right, so I'm going to cut my onions up here. And I'm going to cut this in half like this. Like that. Try to get that nice and done. Now, before I cut this, I bought a food processor years ago, as you guys saw in that one video, and I haven't even used it yet. And it does, it's a thing from QVC, and it does everything. It has the chopper in it, and I bought it like 10 years ago. I never opened it because my dad had this small little food processor, but I bought it for him to make dough because he was in bread stage, dough stage, pizza dough stage. He wanted to make strombolis. He wanted to make calzones. He wanted to make so much, and he bought a lot of stuff. He bought like the pizza tray, the pizza screen, and this was before he passed away. And I inherited a lot of stuff, and a lot of things me and my brother got rid of. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to take it because I don't have room for it really. The only thing I did take was the pizza tray, like you'll see at the pizzeria, like that. That's my father had that too. And he had a pizza paddle. That's how serious my father was. But he started going downhill, and he didn't never got a chance to do that stuff. And it's sad, And he enjoyed that. He enjoyed cooking, and he enjoyed, too. He liked it. My mother and father used to argue. Like my mother would he would do a recipe, and then he would add something to a recipe. And my mother used to get mad. He's always trying to change the recipe. He's always trying to change the recipe, for God's sakes. And she used to get freaked out and but with him why are you changing the recipe? It's like, so. So I used to laugh. I used to look at my mother. I'm like, Mom, never mind. Just don't pay attention to it. I've been in Mount Vernon, New Jersey. Last few days not far from the valley. Oh yeah. Mount Vernon, New Jersey. I have a friend whose parents live in Mount Vernon. I think Mount Vernon. I've been there. I went to visit her friends. A couple of my friends of ours went to visit her. My parents at the time. And it's they got the soil there is amazing. It's like this black rich soil. You probably heard about it. So, But anyway, I have a mandolin too. And I saw again, I haven't used this food processor because of that reason. So back to the story, I was actually, we kept the food processor, the small one. So my father didn't, like I said, didn't open it up because he got sick. It was really mine, but I bought it because I have a KitchenAid mixer, and I didn't want to use the dough hook. I was afraid it was going to break, not be able to handle, because I make the cakes, so it, But when he was in a hospital, that small little KitchenAid chopper crapped the bed. So then I had my mini little Ninja chopper, and that's what I was using until I moved, and then I opened up the box finally for that. So, but I forgot what I bought. So my friend, she sent me the link of the thing, and an actual video that I watched the live on when I bought that item. It's funny. I said, you sent me the exact same segment. Oh my gosh. So I learned, I went through a video on what it could do, and I'm like, I'm not getting rid of this thing. It does everything. Yes, black dirt. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna cut these. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna cut these like this, so that way they, get crumbly, kind of thing. So I'm gonna do it like this. Break as much as I can, and then I just do this, and that, and break that up. So I'll break that up later on when it's cooking. Now, very interesting thing that my father used to do when he made sausage and peppers, and he did this later on as he was getting older. He made it easy for himself, not because he couldn't do it. It was because he just wanted to do it like that. And we always do it on the stove. He did it in the oven. He actually put it in the oven and cooked it that way. And it actually was much better. You didn't have to stand in the stove. He put it in the oven, he covered it, and he let it go. And then it got to where it normally would go when we mix it and stuff like that. And that was a very easy way of doing it, So, like I said, it wasn't lazy. It was just that he couldn't stand at the stove. He sat on the stool, but he wanted to not kept watching it, sitting there watching it. So that's the way he did it. All right. Thank you for the likes. And the onions are bothering my eyes. I'm crying. So, and so my dad, he was funny, and he had his little sense of humors and stuff like that, and it's just great. So, one hack I learned that if you run the water and stuff like that, where you actually rinse the onion, it's supposed to cut back on the amount of the onion juice, and that way it doesn't cause a tearing, which I'm tearing now, and it's really bothering my eyes. Yes, on the barbecue. Yeah, my father, we did it on the barbecue too. It's great because then when they're in the summertime, you don't got to stand at the stove or put it in the oven. You do it right outside in the barbecue. That's the amazing thing about it. So, I'm going to break this up. And I'll break this up in a minute. Let me get a container for this. Let's see here. And I'll just get a bowl. I'm too lazy. We're talking about 10 o'clock at night. Who cooks at 10 o'clock at night? But it's not enough onions. We know that. Right, Jerry? We know that. That's not enough onions. Italians, we use a lot of onions and garlic. And I'll tell you. And I don't have any Italian seasonings. My dad made his own. And I've had this recipe for years. We've had it for years. And I ran out of it. So now I got to make it. So I don't know if I'm going to make it or I'm just going to skip a couple of things and just toss stuff in there and stuff like that. Let me get another one of those onions. I don't know. I may do all of them. I'll see. I'm just going to cut this. If you notice, my hands are a little messed up because I have neuropathy. So I had surgery on my hand, and my hand didn't heal right. My finger didn't heal right years ago. So it's like, and having neuropathy really sucks, especially when it's in your hands. So just this. Pasta 2 a.m. Yeah, you know what? You know what I want to do next, Jerry? It's funny you mentioned pasta. You brought it to my head. And I bought it, pastina. I want to make pastina on a video. I want to do that. And I'll tell you something, Jerry. I love when you say, let's break bread. I love that. Because, you know why? Because that's what we do. We break bread when we eat. Have the Sunday meal or any meal for that matter. Now, my grandmother, my mom, my maternal, she's still alive. She's 99. Would you believe that? 99. I gotta call. I gotta get in touch with them because I haven't talked to them in practically a year because there was a couple things that happened between my brother and because he kind of stopped talking to me, and so I haven't really called my family. I should. But, I don't know. I talked to my nephew, which is good. My oldest nephew. And I have a great grandnephew. Well, my great nephew. I should say, yeah, great nephew. Twice removed, once removed. Who the heck can remember all that crap, right? Twice removed. I said, as long as they're not really removed, Unless you don't like them, then they can be removed. No, I'm just kidding. So. Oh, marron, I hate freaking onions. Oh, God, finally. It's funny. My friend got these onions. I forgot where she got them from. She got some, I don't know if she got an, like my friend used to volunteer at the food pantry, and she did it really anymore, but she has a friend that comes by and drops stuff off, extra stuff that I think, and we get it and stuff like that. So these are from that exactly thing. They had extra and they didn't want to leave them, so so and let me see what else is in here today. Yeah, pastina. I love pastina. Pastina is something that, of course, we ate when we were kids. Mom, grandma would make it when we were sick, and everybody has a way of making it differently. As I got older, the way my mother made it was totally different from what I've seen other people do online. Now, I don't remember. I only had it the way my mother made it. I never had it any other way. I never seen it made any other way until I got older, when the internet came, and then later on I saw videos of people make pastina, and I'm like, that's how you really make it? Mom didn't make it like that. My mom would use, I think she put butter, and she would put some egg in it. She would scramble an egg. And I don't remember if she would actually boil it and then strain it and do it, or she let it boil down with the water as it got like kind of creamy. Not where it was like pasta stuck, when pasta like kind of dries out a bit. It's like all sticky. She didn't do it like that. She did it where it would boil down and it would be a little more creamy. Then she add the egg and stir it in. And butter, and that, I think milk too. But other than that, I've seen people, and I've made it very different than my mother did. I put cheese, I put Parmigiano Reggiano, or Pecorino Romano. I'll put that. I'll add some. I even add ricotta, which was really good. Depends on the mood you're in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So, but that's what my grandmother, my mother did for us, and my mom passed away back in 2007. She had a massive heart attack, and it was very sad. Stuff was going on in my life at that time, and I had my thing going on where I was, looking to do something, a different venue with food. And hold on a second, what'd you say? I cook it. Yeah, I've done that before too. I've made it. Yeah, I've seen people do that, and I've done it before. So I made pastina many different ways that everybody makes it, and I tried it. And I'll be honest, I just love pastina, so I don't care the way it's made. I'll eat it any which way. I'm not like finicky, like, oh, you put chicken stock in it? Ugh. I'm not like that. I'm like, chicken stock, I'll try it. I'm not picky. The only thing I don't like is blue cheese. I don't like even gorgonzola. I will not eat it. The piquant is I don't like it. It really messes with me. Funny story, which I'll get back to my other story before. I had gorgonzola for the first time, and it was great. Believe it or not, shocking as it was. I think because it was smaller, little, tiny pieces of the piquant in there, the blue cheese. And then I had it again, and I was like completely turned off by it. It was like, nope, that's it. I'm done. Blue cheese, freaking blue cheese. Never again I'll eat it. I will not eat blue cheese. It's disgusting. Yuck, yuck, yuck. And ew, but I will eat ranch. So anything that has blue cheese, like buffalo, I'll eat ranch. And I've never liked the food I never met a food that I never liked. And that was the only thing I never liked. It was crazy. And me being a food person, I felt bad. I felt like guilty, like, oh my gosh, I feel like a fraud, or like you don't like blue cheese, who are you? It's like I'm afraid, like, we're not saying nothing. But I'm honest. I said I want to like it, but I can't. I just don't. It doesn't agree with me. I just don't like it. But back to what I was saying about my mom. So she passed on 2007. Now I was working at a job that I was happy, but I wish I could have, done whatever. And then I wanted to do food because I baked, I baked mostly. But food was also a passion of mine. I can't explain it. It's like, You know, when you're good at something and then you're good at something else that you really say, no, but I'm really good at this. No, but I'm really good at that. And you can't make up your mind. It's like you try to get like a balance, like a synergy kind of thing. It's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? And I wind up, about that time, if you guys were familiar with Food Network, Guy Fieri had won the next Food Network star. And I voted for him. I was very, I voted for him. I voted for him. My job had all different terminals. So you only could vote once a day, and you only could vote from one terminal. If you tried again, it would say sorry. We had like 6 terminals. At my job, and I did, and he won. So I always tell people I helped him get to win the Food Network star, as a joke, as a side joke. But I was so geared on applying for it, and I had the application. I printed it out, and I filled it out, and I had all my I got my recipes all together, because you have to have recipes in order to apply, because when they test you and they do all that stuff, you have to have recipes, especially ones that you can pull out of your hat and stuff like that. Then you got to come up with an idea kind of thing and all that stuff. So I had all my recipes all ready, and I'll be honest, I wasn't really wanting to tell the story, but I figured I have my mom, because it involves my mom, and I was ready to go. I also was applying for another position at my job for a promotion. So I had all that ready, all going and stuff like that. And I told my friend back then, Jose, I said, Jose, I really want to do this. He says, do it, dude, do it. And it's like, and then he was saying, you need to go for that promotion like me. Because they had like multiple positions open for the job that they had. And he said, you need to do it. He said, but the Food Network, yeah, I would do it, definitely. And everybody at work was cheering me on. They said, do it. They knew the passion that I had for it. So then that day when I was applying for the promotion, my friend Jose was there, because he was helping out. He had come from another location to help us out. We were kind of short-staffed, and he was filling in for that day. And never forget it, I got a call. One of my coworkers answered the phone, and it was from my father, which he knows not to call me at work. I don't like personal phone calls. And I knew something was not right. And it was my dad telling me that my mother passed, or she's not waking up and all this stuff, and he didn't know what was going on, so he was frantic on the phone. And he just like completely lost it. I was like, first I was like, who is this? And then, like, this can't be my father screaming like that. He was like, mom's not waking up, and she's not responding. And then she passed. By the time I got home, because I left, she passed. She expired. And after that, I didn't submit my application to the Food Network. And I was broken. But I got the promotion. I applied. I didn't let that stop me. But I did do the Food Network thing, because I was afraid, my family needs me. At least at this job, I'd be at the same location, but just promoted. And I'm there. But the Food Network, if I had to go, it'd be months on end, and I had to be available for my family. So I couldn't do it. So, I was saying, it was shortly right after my mom passed, and I was at my grandmother's house, and my uncle had said to me, and I had told him about what I was going to do with the Food Network. And I said to them, I said, I was going to apply. I said I withdrew because Mom passed. And my uncle goes to me, he says, why would you apply for? You're not professional. You're not a professional. You shouldn't apply. Those people are professionals. Like Rachel Ray, they're professional. Oh, they're professionals. They own restaurants. They do this, they do that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, there's people that don't even own restaurants. I said, you think they hire normal people just because they own restaurants? I said, that really doesn't matter. There's people that they were considering that don't even own a restaurant. They cook like I do. And I said, now I worked in a restaurant. I know what it's about. I mean, whatever. I wanted to own my own bakery and stuff like that. When he said that, I was just like, it broke me even more. And it's like, you're not professional. You're not thing. Oh, why are you not working? Why you? It's not meant for you. And I'm like, and then I was like, Uncle, he's jealous. So, well, he is of his own kids. I'm not going to get into that, but that is why I never applied again. It kind of dissuaded me. Like, man, I said I had to reevaluate and say, maybe I'm not meant for this. But, I don't know. Everybody said I have, like, star quality and stuff like that, and I have, I'm a teacher. I always was told that I was like a teacher, and you explain things well, and you're very enthusiastic about it. Okay, I'm gonna accept gluten-free mom. You want to go in? You want to come in? Here it goes. Let me see.
I never get to go live with you. I never get to say hi to you.
It's funny because I don't go. I was saying I'm already live, and then Kaz was like, you should go live and do this and blah blah blah. I'm like, I said I gotta do something. I said maybe I'll make my sausage and peppers. So it's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna do it. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm sitting outside with my kiddo while he rides his dirt bike around.
Yeah, so that's good. At least he's getting right to do things, right?
Yeah.
Is it nice where you're at?
I'm in Kentucky.
Oh, you're in Kentucky. Oh my God. Nice.
Huh?
Nice.
Where are you at?
It's nice and warm there. I'm in upstate New York.
Oh, it's cold up there.
Yeah, it's actually raining, so it's like 50 right now. So it's 50 tonight, which is weird. I thought it was 30. Like it's been like 30s like at night, which is ridiculous. I hate it.
That's sad. So you're trying to be a food creator, huh?
Yeah. I was telling my story, which I didn't want to talk about it, but it was like I was thinking about my mom. I was like, how I got food and everything when I was a kid. My mom baked, and my mom she used to do candy. She used to do confectionery, like with the molds and pops and paint. She paint the molds, and I'd help everything. So she got me all into that. So food is my venue.
Yeah, food's life for me too.
Yeah, it is. It's just amazing. Jerry goes, Chris Nolan can help. Yeah, I know, Jerry. I know. Uncle is very, very jealous, and it's sad. He's a very bitter man, and it's sad because I love them. I love him, but I love my family, but they are not encouraging like the way I really wish they were. I'm not looking, for like, well, I want you to this to make me. No, it's like anything I do. Well, that's not good enough for you. That should not be that what you do. And it's like, how can you say that when you don't even know what I can do? You know what I'm saying? So it's like ridiculous. So it's
so
like
it's storming there now.
Yeah, it's storming now here. Yeah, it's really
I asked
coming
that
down.
because your connection keeps cutting in and out. So I was like,
Yeah, probably that's why. Or my phone is just maybe not enough memory or something. I don't know. That's why. Am I cutting in and out?
Yeah.
Michael! Hello, Mike. Oh,
How
Mike.
many people
Mike
you got
Baker.
in over there?
I have 4 so far.
I got 5. I don't know what Chris is making. It cut out when he told me. Katie asked what you were making.
Sausage and peppers, but I'm
Sausage
doing it a
and
little
peppers.
different. My
At
dad used
10
to make it
o'clock
because
at
he.
night, you're making sausage and peppers.
Yeah, so I was cutting up the onions and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I can have hot and steamy in the fridge. I think I have to check. I think
Mm.
I
Did you know that Leslie Jordan passed away?
the who? Who passed?
The Leslie Jordan, the actor.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know about that. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. When? Today?
Yeah. Some type of car accident or something. I don't know. I didn't read all the article.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's
It was so
terrible.
funny.
Yeah, yeah, he
All the
was. I
comedians are
know.
dying on us.
I'm like, what's going on here? Daniel and I didn't even know. You know Angela Lansbury, the one from Murder She Wrote? I couldn't believe it. I was like, she died? I said,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Like my mom, she used to watch Murder She Wrote. She loved her. And then I was like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, no freaking way. Like everybody's dying on us. Like, come on. Michael the baker. He is a really good baker. He has his own bakery and he runs it from his house, and he's awesome. You guys have to check him out. Really check him out. He's one of the first people in the group when I first started on TikTok watching. Like, I was watching another bakery and I met him in the chat and we became friends. And he's really good. He does more than I used to do. So
Yeah.
I haven't had all my baked stuff all put away when I moved. I didn't, I made one cake and that was it. I mean, I don't do fondant. I know how to fondant and all that stuff, but I do like buttercream and stuff. So that's my I like to do buttercream. What's the temperature down?
Mm.
It could,
Katie said, I am rocking in the rocking chair to stay awake. I'm so tired. I got to get my kid in and we got to go
oh,
to bed.
okay.
But I had to come and show love to you for a few
Yeah,
minutes.
I know. I was like, wait, it's like I said, I want to go live, and I'm like, who's gonna come in tonight? Like.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I'll
Thanks
be
for
live
stopping by. I
tomorrow.
appreciate it. Okay, I'll check you. I'll check you out.
All right. Good night.
Right. Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, so guys, yes. So yeah. So that was my story and with my crap that I had to go through. But I mean, everybody could tell you. My friend Sue, she could tell you. It's like Chris. Well, Chris is really good at what he does. And my mom made carrot cake. That was one of the cakes that she made that I really enjoyed. And I was about maybe 13, and that was the first time I made the carrot cake that she used to make all the time. And I used to watch her all the time, and I was so interested in that stuff. And I'm like, I just like baking. I don't know why. It was just amazing. Like I really enjoyed. I think what I've talked about food is that food is a passion where you want everybody to like stand around and say, "Oh, this is so delicious." It brings people together. People enjoy, they laugh, they smile. And that's what I like about food. That's what it brings people together and it brings memories. Food can also be used wrongly and in so many bad ways too, but you one doctor that I went to one time, he says, "Chris, you don't live to eat, you eat to live." But if you and what he meant by that is just that if you overindulge, you can get hurt in so many ways. What he was talking about, like weight issues and stuff like that. But you know what? Everything is in moderation. We can indulge, we can enjoy, it's as long as it's in moderation. And I'm learning that now. So, and it's something that we all learn. And it's it's good. It's good to know these things. Not dissuade people from doing things, but you do the things you can do. I'm terrible baker dough, just don't mix. My father was like that, like that too. Because in one time he was having a lot of problems. Jerry and I go to him and I said to something really bad. I said, Dad, just give it up. Maybe it's not meant for you. And he didn't listen to me. But I think people try, and sometimes it doesn't work. I think it has to do with yeast. I think when you have I think sometimes if you get bad batches of yeast and it doesn't rise, you kind of go through those kind of things. I'm gonna cut this like this to make it easy for me because I feel like I'm cutting onion rings, and I'm not cutting onion rings. I'm cutting up things, I'm just gonna give this a rough chop like this, just to separate it. Sometimes I do that. I may do a couple little unorthodox little moves, whatever, in the kitchen, but that's fine. You could do, it's your kitchen, you do what you want. As long as the food looks good and tastes good, that's what counts. So how's everybody's night going? What are you guys up to? I know. I was like, I'm truth be told, I have never did pastry. Why you think, because that, that's funny. Another thing, I wanted to go to culinary school. That's another thing and unfortunately my parents, well, my father mostly dissuaded me from going to culinary school. Because, for one, my father knew about a lot of people who didn't do good as chefs and stuff like that. But then at the same time, I wanted to go to do pastry. So I was kind of on the fence. I like cakes. I like decorating them. I like all that stuff. But I was on the fence of what I wanted to do. And my father didn't want me to do it. I actually had a school picked out, and it was the same school that Alton Brown went to, which I found out later on. And he was like, no, you're not going away to school. I don't, not a good thing. And culinary is not good. You don't make no money. You're going to owe so much money. It's not something that I really suggest that you would do. And I said, Dad, you always don't let me do what I want. I was very mad at him. And I was like, you always make me feel like I'm nothing. And I don't understand that. I said, what do you want me to, what do you expect me to do with my life? I don't want to go to a trade school to really a trade. I wanted to follow my dreams. But I kind of see where he was going with it, where he was understanding. He was trying to watch out to make sure I don't make a mistake and then have all that debt. You know what I'm saying? So he probably maybe thought maybe I might not stick with it. I don't know. I don't know what his reasons were. And I'm not trying to dissuade anybody from going to culinary school if you're watching. As I said, this is what a lot of parents do to their children. They try to hold them back on their dreams. Sometimes it's meant for the person not to do it, and then sometimes it is meant for them to do it. You know what I'm saying? Andrew. Oh, Andrew. Hey, bro. How are you? Oh my gosh. I was thinking about you last week. How you been? You know what? Nick is going strong. Nick. What's that? What's his name? The bakery in Illinois. I can't remember the name of it now. Oh God, come on. Morris Bakery. If you came across his live, Nick, this is Andrew. Andrew started off Nick on his channel. It was one of his original things. I said I don't go as much in. He's got so much going on. So a lot of times you don't see my message. Nick is I think overran TikTok. Good. Oh, I know. I know. I must love it down there. Oh man, that is awesome. That is awesome. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad you made that move. A lot of people. How? Oh, how did you? Oh, shoot. How did you? Were you guys affected by the hurricane? Were you in the area where you were affected? So I got some peppers here, nice green peppers. I'm using some. I'm using green because my mom used green when she made this version. I gotta take the things off of here. Let me see. You said a bit of water. Everything is good. Oh, okay. So yeah, you it was just mostly rain. Did you get flooded? Did you get like damage? Because I know it was very bad. I know it was very bad. I want to rinse these off too. Let me see what you said. A bit of water, everything is good. Oh, you said that already. Okay. Yeah, I want to see if you're how you doing and stuff like that. So I'm glad you're doing okay. I'm glad. How's your grandma? She doing all right? Okay. Street's wind damage I had because my landlord never fixed it. Yikes. Oh, you're renting? I'm going to wash these. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to rinse them fast. Okay. Rinse them fast. I rarely rinse peppers unless they're really... I don't even organic. I don't trust organic too. Oh, it's organic. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think it's all the same thing. You know what I mean? They just don't have pesticides on them. They just grow them on. It's the same kind of pepper. You know what I'm saying? They're just grown the same way. And if that's the case, they probably use seeds from something that had pesticides on them. You know? So they market like that, and then they charge people more money. You know? I think that's how they do it. It could have been prevented. Yeah. And we fixed some sheet metal. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, my apartment here, I've had no heat for almost a year. And these apartments here are new, and the landlord bought it. He lives in New York City. He bought the apartments because there was people, you know, that there was hardly no apartments because of the COVID and stuff like that. So he built apartments, but the electrician that he had messed up everything. They wind up wiring the thermostats and the baseboard heaters all wrong. So when you turn them on, they blew, whatever. So we were dealing with, and he was trying. He really couldn't really. A lot of people were having problems. So by the time the winter was terrible, I had to use my stove. I had to use a portable heater. My bill was astronomically nuts, and I said to myself, I can't do this. You're gonna. And they had messed up something in the bathroom. They had to come fix it. It was wired. It was crazy. Everybody's heaters were popping, from what I found out. So the new landlord, he sold. The new landlords bought it, and they're both electricians. So the problem was the baseboard heater thermostats were wired incorrectly, and that's why they were blowing. Figured it was blowing because maybe the amperage, it was less than in the box than it was those heaters, like 200 something. Those weren't it. It was that they were wired incorrectly. That one that I have in my other side of the living room, that blew. That actually popped, and that one burnt out. So when they went to go change it, he's like, "Oh, this is burnt. This is damaged completely." And in the bedroom, that was fine. So the two ones, I had to wait. And then what happened was they had to come back anyways because my box, the main was, the whole electricity was turning off when I had both heaters on inside. And I was still waiting for the thermostat for the other one. They had to come. They figured it was pulling too much. I said, it's running hot. He said, yeah, it's pulling too much. So they had to, I don't know, they checked it, and then they swapped out two of the breakers. They just switched it around. One was the receptacle for the one, and one was for the heater and stuff like that. They just switched it. Then they got to come tomorrow, and my neighbor upstairs from me was taking a shower, and he didn't close the curtain, and the water went and started leaking into my bathtub. Paint came down and all that stuff, so I got to paint that tomorrow. Put weather strip on my door, and then change the light bulb because the ceiling bulbs are too high, like 9 feet. So, but they got it done. They got this heaters done, and we were like, we're not going to deal with this again. My neighbor upstairs turned his on before they came to fix him, and he didn't know it popped, and his smoke alarm went off. And he was like, and I said, I told you not to turn the heaters on, you know. What could have been prevented? I would have messed glad to fix it. Yeah. Oh, you don't, Andrew. You have no idea. Seriously. You know, because I'm dealing with a lot of things. When my dad passed away, so I had to move because my brother took over the house and stuff like that. And I'm not going to get into it, but I had to do things. I had to go move and stuff like that. So I kind of downsized. So a lot of my stuff I had to like hold back. That's why I haven't made cakes in over a year and a half. So that's normally what I do. So, all right, back to, I'm glad you're doing okay. I'm glad everybody's doing fine. So peppers. I'm going to cut the peppers. I'm going to trim the tops, and I'm going to cut the ribs out and then just seed them, and then we're going to cut them in strips. So we're going to do that. And everybody cuts peppers different. Some people cut it lengthwise, like you saw me when I did the video for the stuffed peppers. I cut them this way. Some people cut them on top, that I was talking about. Tell you, I edit so much on those videos. You know, you guys know, if you've recorded videos and done videos like food, you know how long they take sometimes. I have my thing here, and where I'm putting it up against the stove, and I'm like trying to and you go through the footage, and you're like, holy Jesus. I'm like, I can't. And then you try to figure out what you're going to do. And then I was going to take, if anything with baking, I was going to take it and put on my YouTube channel. So I wanted to do two cameras. One that goes this, revert this way. So it's like the way it's on YouTube regular, not the TikTok strip like that. I didn't want like that on YouTube. But then I said, what's the sense of having two cameras? It's not going to make it makes no sense. I may not have space on one of them. So I didn't want to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Then I got to get another, what's this stupid thing called? You put your phone on. Whatever it's called. I'm like Stu Nod right now. Bro, for sure what you're entirely going through. I know, and I have to deal with a lot of stuff, and even I was told today by my friend that God doesn't want me to keep dwelling on it, because that's what the enemy wants me to do, is just keep dwelling on it. So, yeah, like I said, I cut my peppers this way, and you can cut them around like this and just go around. Or what I would do is I cut on the side like this. Like I cut a side here, and I cut all the way down. I'll cut my finger. Like I'll cut like this. Let's see if I can get you guys to say like this. All the way down, right? Then turn it over, and then start from that end on there, and then start working your way like this, like you're filleting a fish, like that. And then go work your way around like that, and then cut that all the way. Some people just rip them out, and you could do that, and I've done that because I want to be lazy. I'm not saying be lazy, but I want to rip it out, and then I'll just trim whatever. But I'm just showing a way where you can, actually go through and cut out all the stuff and the seeds and stuff like that. And you see, I didn't get all of it, but I'm just going to chop that in half like this. And then I'll cut out those ends there. Everybody says work smarter, not harder. You know what I'm saying? And some people, we make mistakes. Food isn't a science, but baking is a science. You know what I'm saying? That's how I think of it. Well, food science, like when stuff boils and... All right, Chris, shut up. I was cooking 4 years in the sports bar. Really? Tripod, thank you. Couldn't remember. Whoever said that. Let me go back and see who said that. Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. I love you, Andrew. You're a good guy. I wish, one thing about meeting people on the internet, you want to go everywhere that like I wanted to go see you and Nick when you guys went, and go to the bakery. I'll tell you, Nick's, let me tell you something. That your bakery, I'll say yours because you're still Morris. That bakery, I heard, that bakery, everybody loves that bakery. And like the donuts and everything they make are so amazing. And it looks so good. And I'm like, I'd like inject myself with like 5 gallons of insulin or something just to eat all that stuff. It looks so good. Those apple fritters and those blueberry fritters are the ones that I like. That I was like, it makes me want to drool. I just want to go nuts. It did, yeah. They look. Nick said it. He's like, the donuts are very big sellers in our. He said we sell out like so much of the cinnamon fritters and stuff like that. He said cinnamon buns, and we sell out of them really fast. You wouldn't think of a small little bakery like that. Well, that's the best thing. I mean, if they have really good whatever, Nick is the best. Yeah, he is. Nick is good. I feel so bad for him. He's gone through a lot, but you know what? He looks great. He looks amazing. He looks awesome. He's playing his little house music and he's dancing and he's happy and stuff like that. It's just that I've been in the live and I feel, and these people are so nasty to him. Use a glove. He's using a glove. He's got it on his hand. It's clear. You can't see it. Or he's taking his hand and he's like, I've been washing my hands. How many times am I going to wash my hands? I've been washing my hands. And he's, and it's like, how do you expect to put it on? You got to put it on a certain way. And he says, I got reported and they're so mean. And it's like, because you don't like certain things that he says or does, it's like, why report him? He's a baker. He's not doing something bad and then be like, well, that's grounds for being reported. Yeah, we should. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they don't like certain things. And they report them. And TikTok sides with them, which I don't get. Go look back at the live and see what they did supposedly and then say, no, this is not a valid violation. You know what I'm saying? He is real. And you know what? He's a good father. He is a good father. And I really am so happy for him that he's got the kids and stuff like that. I'm so happy. He's a good guy. He's a good dude. And, he's happy. And that's the thing is, I'm happy. And then now what he's doing now, he has his passport. He's going to go see people. And that's good. So I'm going to still cut up to my peppers. And Nick, and Andrew is a good dude too. Andrew is also awesome. I remember going in the first time. I'm like, a bakery? A bakery? A bakery? Yeah. And then I just started going in, and they really didn't have that many people. I was like the first one, But now, Nick is grown with he does the spicy thing and all that stuff. So he's good. He's good. I'm happy for him. I don't go in often because a lot of times I say hi and it's like I said, oh, he probably's not going to see me anyway because he's busy. He's not in the camera. He's doing other things. So I'm just trying to get this I feel like I'm filleting a fish here. And sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to throw this out. And then also you gotta sample the pepper, make sure it's not poison. And I like that you showed the bakery. And then Nick did it one time when there was people in there. Right, I think right before they opened or something. You know, and everybody, everybody likes Nick. He's a good dude, and I hope that everything works out for him with all the stuff that he's going through. And so, like I said, like with me, somebody reported my account, and unfortunately, it's just tough. People are very upset, or they blame people for things and stuff like that, and saying it. I know who. I know. I have an idea who it could have been. Just to say that. That's all I'm gonna say. But it's not right. But I mean, people TikTok sides with a lot of stuff, and they shouldn't. I mean, it's like because it's like I don't like this. Okay, blocked or reported and accepted. It's like no. I'm like I don't get it. It's like I didn't say anything, or anybody would say anything. It makes no sense to me. I know somebody who was in a live and he was talking about something. I forgot what it was, and he was reported. He's like, I didn't say anything. Yeah, I know, Andrew. I know it is. I know. You. I was like, that was. I was shocked that you actually were moving. I couldn't believe it when you said it. I was like, oh, Andrew. That's why he's like, I was trying to get Nick started. And I really, honestly, if I had the ability to go to Illinois, I'd go visit Nick. I would meet Nick. And see the bakery and try all the awesome donuts that he's, and he went. And his mom. It's sad what they did. They called the bakery up and said, "Oh well, he's using his hand, or he was abusing the dough. He did something bad to the dough, like slap the dough or something." And then she says, they called my mom, and to complain. And then when I found out the mom was, they found the mom was the son, the son and all that stuff. They said they threatened to call the health inspection. You didn't get what you want, but now you're gonna go and call the. It's like. It isn't what people do. That's the thing they do. They get with, oh, well, he's the thing. Well, now I'm going to call the health inspector. It's like, really? You hate this guy so much that you're going to do that? And his mom just laughed. Like, go ahead. Do what you want. Who cares? It's just stupid. He's like, all the kitchen Karens could go fly a kite somewhere. It's sad. He tries to have fun. And it's like, oh, well, you're not wearing gloves. You're not doing this. I said, you know what? Like people say then, well, you're not wearing gloves. I said, I'm inside my kitchen. I'm feeding myself. Why am I going to wear gloves? Yeah, he does. And it's sad. And it's sad. I mean, I don't mind doing things, for people and whatever, but you know what? There's no need to. You don't need to wear gloves when you're in your house, unless I'm making it and I'm bringing it to a friend's house or something, and I want to wear gloves and it's something I'm actually touching. Then yeah, then I can understand. And it was and I'm doing something wrong, and the Karens can go, Chris, you shouldn't be doing it. You're right, I shouldn't be. Let me get a glove. You know what I'm saying? So, you can't please everybody. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I'm going to cut the rest of the peppers up. And it's kind of daunting when you cut up the tops of the peppers. Another thing, too, I've seen people, when they made stuffed peppers, when they cut them top ways like this, they cut the pepper up, and they chopped it in, and they mixed it in the mix. You could do that, too. But that's the way I was taught how to do it. My mom did it like that with stuffed peppers. Now, my grandmother, my paternal, used to make stuffed peppers another way. She used the peppers, cubanelles, and stuffed them. But she would make it with breadcrumbs, garlic. She did it differently. that was like one way she did it, my paternal grandmother. All right, so now I got the peppers all chopped here. Well, not chopped, but I mean like cut up in the sense that I'm going to now go get to the point where I'm going to start chopping up every pepper. I have one more pepper over there. I'm telling you, I'm stewing on tonight. Oh, I'm making sausage and peppers, Andrew. Sorry about that. As you know, sausage and peppers are usually the multicolored peppers with just, olive oil and the way it's made, and you put it on the hero or not. But there's another way of making it, and my mother used to use all green peppers, and then she add tomato sauce to it, which gave it like a saucy kind of thing. A little different than what you use or what you make when you make normally sausage and peppers that you get at like the feast and stuff. Excuse me. Pepper got stuck in my throat. So I got one pepper left. I'm going to cut that. I'll save that to the end. But I'm going to chop up my peppers here. So again, we're going to cut this off. And we're going to toss that in the garbage. Now, some people cut like this. I'll cut like half like that, and I'll move that over, and then I'll run my knife through it. We're going to do strips like this. Like that. And you can cut it whatever length you like. I'm cutting it just like at least maybe like a quarter inch thick, like that, because they're gonna cook down, and when they release all the juice, they're gonna shrink. So that's done. So you have something like this, whatever, So, and I'm actually going to get another bowl. Excuse me. Oh, Maron. I know. I think when you're in a small kitchen, you try to compensate, Knives? No, actually, these knives that I have I inherited from my dad. My dad, this is a knife, I don't know where he got this from. This is Kitchen Classics 400 series high carbon stainless steel. Sub-Zero Squinch. Squinch. Making up words now. And I have a Sunoco knife that my father we've had for years. These are all knives are like all Chef Tony's, I think. One he used to use, which was like this, the scoop and chop, which I didn't like. He would cut, and he'd take him so long just to cut up something. He'd be like, Dad, for the love of God, get a real good knife. Don't use that to cut. Well, I like using it. And I'm like, we used to argue. I'm like, I like it. And I'm like, Dad, you drive me nuts. I like it. It's relaxing. I like cutting up stuff. I'm like, you take 10 years to cut up stuff, and I can't get in the kitchen. We used to argue back and forth. I'm like, now I can't cook any food because you're taking too long. I'm like, you're taking too freaking long. Hurry the frick up, But I love my dad. He drove me nuts. But, I guess that's the Italians. We drive each other crazy. And we can do that like that. And I'm going to chop up like this. Cut this up like that. I'm going to cut that up like that. I'm going to leave this like that because it's going to shrink down. Cut that up. So, Andrew, what you been up to? You been doing anything different? You working? I cut that up. Now, I mentioned, like I said, that's why when I mentioned in the video about you can make sausage and peppers too. Not just stuffed peppers, you can make many different things. That's why when you use a lot of peppers, you have to, because they get, they contain a lot of water, so they're going to cut down. I'm just going to cut some of this off here. All right. You know, I did ass hat backwards. I work a lot, and cool stuff you do, like the beach and going downtown. My dad drove me nuts too. I must say, oh, I know. You know something? I've never shared this with nobody since my dad passed away. But my dad would say to me when we'd argue, within the few years that he was still alive, he goes, "You're gonna miss me when I'm gone." He says just like, "You're gonna miss me when I'm gone." He looked at me. "You're gonna miss me when I'm gone." And all of a sudden, all I could think was, I don't need to make a joke. You know the Kendra Cups. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. You're gonna miss me when I'm. I used to be able to do that, by the way. I had a video. I gotta find. Well, I don't have Facebook anymore, but I had it. That was years ago. But he said, "You're gonna miss me when I'm gone," and I said, "I know, Dad. I know." But then it hit me. It hit me that he was gone because my father was funny. He was hysterical. He was a man. There was a lot of stuff in life that he dealt with, and my mom wasn't well, and he had a lot to deal with, so it kind of stressed him out. So he was dealing with a lot of stuff. So he was funny, and then a lot of times he was very, very abusive. I hate to say it, verbally, physically, mentally, all the above. But not that I didn't love him. I forgave him for a lot of stuff that he did. And I did it years before he passed away. But, I mean, I love him and I miss him because he would be annoying. He'd be a pain in the neck, and he would just, he was very cautious of me. Oh, God forbid this happens and yada, 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 typical Italian parents, Oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, or they're going to stab you in the back, you got to be careful, they're jealous of you, and yada, 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 yada. If you watch the shit the Italian mothers say, it's the same exact thing. My father was like the male version of that, But he was very cautious. And he didn't let me do a lot of stuff. He was very overprotective of me. Nice, Andrew. I'm putting my head down because I'm reading the comments on the thing. Sorry if you guys are thinking I'm just reading the comments on here. I have my other phone here. So I'm trying to it's not going to die? Okay, it's not dead. Okay. But no, he was very overprotective of me. Very overprotective. And that's the reason why my brother went on his own to do his own things. And, he was very upset that I didn't follow in his suit because of my dad. And especially with my mom being sick, he kind of got upset. And then he wanted me to do exactly what he wanted me to do. And told me, "Oh, you don't be like Dad. Don't be like him. He's mean. He's nasty. He's blah, 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 blah." But anyways, my father was very funny. So he make jokes and, some of the things. And I've caught myself saying the things that he says. And I'm talking to my friends at church. And all of a sudden they're like, why? I'm saying to myself, holy crap. I sound like my dad. I came out with that stuff like that. So I realized that the funny things of my father are coming out, and it's like, yeah, I have a very, very angry, mean streak, like my dad, but I've controlled it, and I've, come to find out, and I said, but this is what I mean by I miss my father. I miss his jokes. I miss talking about food and all the funny, stupid things he says, and I miss that. So those are the things I do miss. So I do miss him. So. Yeah, and it's like, even Italian parents, I mean, and I grew up, my mom was Calabrese, and my father was half Napolitan and Polish. So that is a very crazy combination. And there's other things mixed in that as well, but majority-wise, that was it. So that's why my father and mother used to argue about how do you say certain words in Italian from their different dialects. Like sin in Napolitan, you say pucad. My mother said in Calabrese, pecad. Oh, it's bucad. No, it's pecad. It's bucad. And I'm like, shut the heck up. Who cares what it is? Who cares? Doesn't make any sense. Just forget about it. You know? Yeah, I know. And that's it. And that's it, Jerry. You're absolutely right. You know, it's like, yeah. But that's the funny thing about my dad. I love him and I miss him. And, and I'll be honest, my brother, much as my brother had a lot of forgiveness that he couldn't forgive my dad, hopefully now he forgives him. Because I told him so many different ways. I said, you could forgive, you move on. But you can't forgive one thing and not forgive the other. Because then there is no peace. And you hold that grudge on forever. I told him that. He didn't want to hear it. It was only until he died, I think, he found the peace. Now, I didn't go to my dad's service because it was in Long Island. It was in the end of the Veteran Cemetery. And my car is very bad right now. I'm in the process of shopping for a vehicle. And I couldn't make it, and I had a lot of problems. So my brother knew that, and I said, whatever. But I told my nephew it was closure for my brother more than it was for me. Because I think like I said, the forgiveness part. If you didn't forgive, you can't move on with your life. And that's a lesson I learned myself just recently, actually. Because of what happened between me and my brother, I have to forgive him. And I did forgive. But people bring it up, or I bring it up, and I feel bad because I said, people are just hell-bent on one thing. And it's sad because it's caused me not to want to talk to my family. And I feel bad, you know what I'm saying? So this is stuff that I'm going through. And so I'm telling you, I have more pepper. Okay, now I'm going to put this in the sink. Wash my hands. Take a paper towel. No. So as you guys missed it, if you're just trying using this to put down on the surface, so that way your cutting board does not slide. So, okay, I got that. Clean that part up. Get ready. Thank God I have the garbage here. That's why garbage bowls. God bless Rachel Ray because she knew what she was doing. Garbage bowls or the garbage. So that way you don't, unless you throw on the floor, because if people throw on the floor, I'll sweep it up afterwards. But then you're getting under your sneakers, your shoes, and you don't want to do that. So that's that. Mm-hmm. Excuse me 1 second. My friend just sent me the playlist for church for the worship for Thursday night. All right. I don't lead worship anymore. I'm off for a while. I'm doing like a sound system because we needed a sound crew thing, and I do everything. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So, I'm gonna get the sausage. Okay. So we got Italian sweet and Italian. Oh, they're all both sweet. I could have swore I got hot and sweet. That's fine. I'd rather have sweet. But I do like hot. Don't get me wrong. Right upstairs. Okay. All right, so first, you know what I should have did? Let me get the cutting board back because I got to chop up the sausage. That works. But I can rinse it off the thing. I've got to rinse the knife off to make sure I have a nice clean board. Okay. Paper towels, paper products, they're so dang expensive. But all right, let me move this back. Sorry, guys. Let's get back to cutting again. Cut our sausage up. Did I miss anything in chat? You got 9 minutes because they're taking a break for a while. No. I gotta make this. Right. So I'm gonna cut up this sausage. And I'm gonna cut it up in pieces because that's what my mom did. She cut it in pieces to make it easy. Some people put it in whole because then they have the sausage and they put it in the bun. Now, I'm just going to forewarn you guys, I don't have any bread, but I could do keto bread or a keto roll or something. So I'm going to cut the sausage up like, I would say a ½ inch each. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to dice up like that. Because what's going to happen is they will render fat and they will shrink down. So you don't want to come too thin or small because then you'll be eating crumbly stuff. And I'm going to do this a little differently because then sometimes it takes a long time for it to go through. It's funny. One of the video, was it the video with the peppers? This knife, somebody says to me, bro, you need another knife? You want me to buy you another knife? I was like, shut up. But I had sharpened it after that, so it's cutting through. So you want to I'm going to just cut that through there. Like that. And I'll cut the other one open too. Second, I gotta get another bowl, excuse me. Oh, Jesus. Am I missing anybody in the chat? We've only talked to meet again. Yes, Jerry. All right, what you said. So, has anybody made sausage and peppers before? Because I made it many times. And you know something, it's funny because, you know, sometimes we don't ask our family what they do. Sometimes we do. And when we do, or we don't, we just watch, we just witness what they do. You know what I'm saying? So, now I got these sausage at Market 32, which is also known as Price Chopper. That's what we have here. As a matter of fact, that's where Rachel Ray used to do her things in Price Chopper. And up here where I'm at. So, get that one done. Yeah, you know something, I do too. I need the bread. You gotta have it like that. That's how you're supposed to have it. But I've eaten it without the bread, keto. I've done it. I had to, but I'm gonna use keto bread or keto roll or something. I got even a tortilla if I gotta do it. I know that may be sacrilegious in our culture, but who really can't complain? You know. So yeah, so I bought these at a Market 32 because Walmart, they're like, I think they're price gouging with this. They're taking advantage of this their this inflation stuff. One guy who I watch, he does Lyft, and he lives north from me, and he says, I went to Walmart and I bought Cool Whip to make a pineapple salad, and I got the extra creamy regular Cool Whip. He said it was $10 for both containers. $10 for a total of 2 containers. He said, and the girl goes, oh, maybe you got the extra creamy. That's why extra cream. That's ridiculous. And everybody in different places, like, for example, like you go to different Walmarts, they're different prices. But it's like every different way. He says, we were like, why didn't you get the Great Value brand? He's like, because there wasn't none left. But we're like, that is ridiculous. $10 for freaking Cool Whip. He said, I can make my own whipped cream for that. I said, you should have. Price Chopper in Warwick, New York. Where the? I'm trying to think where Warwick is. Is that Long Island? Warwick. Because Price Chopper is only really upstate. Where is Warwick? I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm in New York and I don't even know. Thank you for the share, City Girl Angel. And Elemental Dude Chef, Nude Chef, thank you for coming in and checking out my live stream. I really appreciate it. Hope you're doing well tonight. What's going on with you? I'll wait for your response. So, if you guys just came in and joined, we're doing sausage and peppers. We're doing it a little different. This is the Italian way, but we're doing it a little different, adding a little sauce to it. So, by the black... okay, Warwick. Gotcha. Yeah. Market 32, it's his Price Chopper. Yeah, their meat is excellent. They have really good stuff. Before I moved here, my dad was telling me, Chris, you got to check out, no, we have Price Chopper here. And he's like, what is that? And he was telling me, he's like, the meat is very good. He had a very good rapport with the butcher here. Unfortunately, I don't know if the butcher's still there. Otherwise, I would have had a better rapport with them too. But he used to cut like rump roast for my dad. My dad used to make pot roast. He used to make pulled pork. I found a video of my dad making pulled pork, and it was recorded on one of those old cameras. I'm gonna see if I can try to get it on YouTube. Like I could try to edit it and put it on YouTube. But I usually wouldn't give out my father's recipe, but I think I'm going to, because that was like the best thing he made. So again, guys, if you just joined us live, we're doing sausage and peppers tonight. We just cut up our onions, we cut up our peppers, we're doing green peppers, and we cut up our Italian sweet sausage like this. I cut it up about 1.5 inches, a half an inch, that way, because when they render, they're going to shrink down. Okay? So, got all that done. Now, the thing is, I'm going to wash my hands, because in this kitchen we wash our hands when we touch specific proteins. Because we do not want to do cross-contamination. Okay, so we don't have anybody really be like, you didn't wash your hands because the block, we want to make sure we wash our hands. Exactly. And that's a habit because, you got cross-contamination. And now our board is contaminated, so it goes right into the sink. And again, we've used that little slippery thing. Again, if you just joined us, if you want to do stuff, now I cut on my stove, but what you want to do is you want to make sure your thing is secure. So buy one of these, the rolls that you buy in that Dollar Tree. It's the non-slip thing. It comes in a roll, and cut a piece. It causes it so it doesn't slip your board. So that's what I do. And it's a really good hack, and I like doing that. So I'm just making sure I say black dirt, whatever. All right, so we got that done, and now let me wipe that down for a second. Now, I want to make sure I have Italian seasonings. I don't have any left because I ran out. The last Italian seasonings I used was done the video for the peppers and sausage and peppers. The stuffed peppers. And that's all I really have, which is really nothing in there, and I need to make more. So there is really nothing, I have really nothing going on here. Give me 1 second. I have my father's recipe here, and I want to just say, let me see what he has here. Garlic and garlic, powdered thyme, rosemary, black pepper. I'll make it later on, but I'm going to add some stuff in there to help me do that. So onions, garlic, powdered thyme, rosemary, basil, oregano. Yeah, because that's stuff like that. I'll just add a few things. Majority of the stuff that I normally will add and like that. So we'll do that. Okay. So we're going to get our pan. Okay. And we're going to get that. Again, I'm using the pan from the Pioneer Late Woman, which I really love this pan. It's great. It's an excellent pan. So then I'm gonna add some. I'm not add garlic to it. I'm just gonna add peppers and onions because I don't have any garlic on hand right now. I don't think I do. I don't have it. So we're gonna start out with some Bertolli. I'm using Bertolli. Now I don't know if you guys can really see. I really don't know how this looks. Give me a second. Let me move back my thing here. Oh, you guys can see. I just want to make sure. All right, so we're gonna add garlic. We're gonna add garlic oil to our pan. I'm gonna say just a little bit of oil right now, just to get the sausage cooked. And yeah, I add a little bit of oil so that way the sausage really does not stick. You want to do that, and that will allow that. So when you put the peppers and onions in, it's going to have a place to go. That way you can add more, because once the fat renders, you're going to have to use that fat too from the sausage. So I'm going to turn my stove on here. I'm going to put it on, let's see, put on medium and let that heat up a bit. Get that a little bit around coated. Electric stoves, I hate electric stoves, and I know you guys in Long Island have electric stoves, and I know how that is. My Aunt Margie hated it. So while that's heating up, good. I figure you could say. Okay, so we'll render that sausage, and you'll notice you'll start to see the oil start moving. That means that the molecules are heating up. All right, so I'm going to add my sausage in here. Say that in there. All right. Get that cooking, baby. I appreciate you guys stopping in today, watching. Come on, Sue. Are she watching me? Suzanne, you watching? Give me a second. I want to text my friend and say I'm live. You know I'm live? Hold on 1 second. I'll just text my friend. I'm live cooking. Because she probably doesn't even know I'm live. All right. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little more. And I'm going to use a wooden spoon. Wow, she goes, wow. Well, come on in! Wow. Wow. Actually, you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use a spoon. Get the fat coated a little bit here. All right, get that going. Put that up a little more. Because you got to remember, too, this pan is very heavy. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure it's done. Let's see. Is she in there? Thank you for the likes, Isaiah. Welcome, Sean. Welcome. Thanks for the likes, guys. I appreciate it. If you were just tuning in, if you're just watching come across the live, we're making sausage and peppers Italian style. Different type of style of Italian peppers with sauce, so it's going to be really good. This could be keto too. Okay, so you can hear it starting to sizzle up now, so we're going in, guys. Okay, so we got again, we got Italian sausage, we got sweet Italian sausage, and I cut them into 1/2 inch. That way, again, once the fat renders down, it's going to shrink down. So we're going to have to, anticipate for that. So you'll have some shrinkage on that. That's why, again, some people do cook them, whole. If you're going to put it in a bun and stuff like that, you want to eat it like that. And you know what I like too, and I remember I like the brats. You ever guys have brats? I like them. I like when you make them or chicken sausage or on the grill and stuff like that. That's the best. So, all right. So we're getting that cooked in. So I can see we can see. So, yeah, I like this pot, and Mississippi Queen, she's amazing. She's incredible. She's like, I like that she's so funny, and she's like, like you hang out with her like in a kitchen, like I love it when she says you got to test the cheese because it's poison. I'm like, I love this woman because it's true. I have that habit, test the cheese, and I always do that. I'm a big cheese nut. So I'm starting to smell the fennel in the sausage. It's amazing. Oh my gosh. I love this. Bunny King. Welcome guys for coming in live. You're coming in live. We're making sausage and peppers tonight. I know we're 11 o'clock here in Eastern Standard Time, but if you just joined us, we'll give you a welcome. My name is Chris. That's so Chris. And we do cooking here, and I'm originally a cake decorator, baker, pastry chef, I guess you could say, and we're just cooking up some Italian style peppers since it's still Italian Heritage Month, October. So try to fit as much recipes as I can in, you know what I mean? Again, thanks for the likes, Isaiah. Hope you're doing well. Let's see, cut back a little bit. Yeah, the first time I used this pot when I made my Frank's Beans Potatoes, if you saw that video, boiling water was crazy. I'm just gonna tell you what happened. You boiling water, it wouldn't boil, so it's hot, so it's going. It's not really coming to the boil. So I'm checking the potatoes, and then I got to the point where I started playing with the potatoes, and I was like, it's done. They're parboiled. Whoop. Pull them in and out. I'm like, otherwise you don't want to burn yourself. All right, I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit. I'm gonna put it to 6.5, because you got the what's that called? Smoke alarm over there. You don't want it going off at 11 o'clock at night. And I don't know. Credit card. Let's go. Where's the huge flame? There's no huge flame. The only flame is coming out is a metal. You'll see blue because on the camera it's blue. I got electric stove, dude. Sorry. See? Electric stove. It's blue. And how I know it turned blue is because I've watched many streams on Twitch cooking and it was blue. So, guys, the fennel is amazing. That's what you smell. I love fennel. I love fennel. I used to, in Italian we call it fenouil. And then we would joke around and say, you're fenouil. You're slang, like you're fenouil. Listen, fenouil. Listen, fennel. But my father. Oh God, my father made me laugh. He would say the most craziest things, you know. But how you doing tonight, credit cards? What are you up to tonight? Oh my gosh, this fennel is such a... It's like my grandma. Now I'm gonna make a sauce. I'm gonna make a video to make do sauce. You know, marinara sauce, right? And my family did it different. You know, you got the nabitan and the galabres do it totally different. My paternal grandmother did. She put fennel in it. She toasted fennel. And then my mom didn't do that. My brothers, my grandmother didn't make it like that. They put other things in there too, but you know, and it's like fennel. When fennel hits and it hits this, it's so aromatic. It's amazing. A lot of people don't like Italian sausage because of fennel. You know, so you're seeing it. It's cooked. I'm gonna let this hang out for a while, and that's one thing I don't like about electric stoves, because sometimes you're moving around and you can't figure out where to put the thing on there. So I'm going to let this hang out. I'm going to move this kind of in the middle, and I'm not going to touch it. We'll let this go for a little bit. And while that's working, I'll give you guys a talk and see what's up in the chat here. I don't know. I want to see if my friend's coming. See what she's doing. And it's funny because my friend, one of my friends, he loves sausage and peppers. So like, we got to make sausage and peppers for him, but he won't eat it with the sauce. He only eats it, the colored peppers and the or whatever. So now when you guys make sausage and peppers, what do you put in yours? I like to know. I'm going to let this. The sausage is starting to pop. And just, you gotta always be careful when you're cooking anything. And when meat starts to expand the water, it pops. So be very careful when you do that. If you're a new cook here and you're learning about cooking for the first time, you'll start noticing certain things when you're cooking certain foods, that they give off different reactions to heat. Like sausage has water in there, and as it expands, it's going to pop with the oil. Put that there. And a little red wine. Oh yeah, a little red wine. Yeah, you know something? You know what somebody did, and I think when you said red wine, it's funny, they added red wine vinegar. People have done that. I've seen people do that. Because I guess the taste, it brings out the flavor in the sausage, and then actually the onions too. So yeah, red wine. That's what my grandmother puts, and my mother would put in our sauce. And so my father would, when my father made the sauce, he combined both things of my mom and my and his mother did. Fennel and wine. We didn't put sugar in it. A lot of people put sugar to cut the acidity, but then people said, well, then that don't make no sense. Why would you put, so everybody's arguing about what they do. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do that. Everybody has a way of making it. If it tastes good, that's all should matter. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, and I say this, sometimes the best thing is not to tell nobody what you put in it, because then people start being very judgmental. Well, I don't do that. You know, and it's like, no, I understand, and everybody has their likes and dislikes, and that's fine. But, you know, I wouldn't, like, really say, it's not something like you added molasses. Ugh, then you could say, That don't go in sauce. Ugh. That's what I mean. All right. Now I'm gonna let this go for a bit, a little more, just until they're really going. And I'm gonna try to get these inside there and around. Okay, now that's it. See how that popped? Gotta be very careful. I'm gonna get a bowl here. I think I've used more bowls than this, this recipe than I could possibly imagine. And I'm just gonna hold on the side so when that's done, you know. And again, you don't want to turn the heat up while you're on high on here because you'll have it really pop and smoke, and you won't have everybody wants to rush the cooking process, but it takes time, and still they're not done. You know what I'm saying? So just give them a stir and let them hang out on the stove. You know what I mean? So yeah. So getting back to, I was telling you guys about the Italian seasonings my father made. My father used to make it, and he wrote it down, and he'd keep it in the kitchen so that way when we made it, it was available. So all we had to do was go to that recipe, and we would have it. So he wrote it out for me, and he gave it to me. So I've been using it ever since, and it's a very good blend. Italian seasonings. Everybody uses it. Everybody's got there's many different ways people make it. Many different seasonings they use. Italian seasonings, and people in Italy say, "What is that?" No. It's people say, "Oh, what's that?" No, it's just the basic seasoning: basil, parsley, thyme, rosemary, oregano, Christopher, my friend Christopher, how are you, Chris? How are you, bro? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's well. We're making sausage and peppers. I hope you're hungry. Right now we got our sausage here, and we're just cooking this, and fat is rendering out. That's why it's starting to get a little more fat in here, and it's starting to really cook really well here. So I'm gonna I want to get this to the point where they all have color on it, because some of them are still not done. They're still pink. Now, at this point, I want to turn the heat down a little more because I don't want it to smoke. If you start seeing like a lot of smoke, turn the heat down. Don't turn it on too much, because then you don't want to get up to the temperature where it's not going to, you'll get it where it's not going to start cooking, and then you got to turn it up, and then you got to keep playing with it. So always watch your flame. Always make sure your thing is cooking properly. I want to give this a really good mix around. All right. See, it's starting to develop some color. Some, not all of them have color on it, but what are you up to tonight, Chris? How's everything going? I'll put the thing on here. I have the whatchamacallit, the fan going. So if you're joining us, we're doing sausage and peppers, Italian style sausage and peppers. A little different. We're doing it in a way that my mother used to do it, and you'll see this sometimes in different restaurants make it certain ways. The traditional way is without sauce, and it's just different color peppers. This is a little different. This has green peppers, and it's going to have sauce in it, like my mother used to make it. I want to just, like I said, I want to make sure everything has color on it. That way they're cooked really well. And then when I bite into it, it's not still pink. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're going to add it back into the pan to cook a little more, we still want to get it to a point where we don't have to babysit this when we add the sauce and everything, and then they're not cooking. You know what I'm saying? I'll check it to see how it is. I'll go look at one in a little bit, and I like to test it. Make sure they're cooking. Try to get this one turned over so it's cooked properly. Okay. Okay. Give this another stir. I think we're almost there, guys. We're almost at that point. I mean, it's not like the Food Network swap out, you know, and or I gotta take a quick break, but when I come back, we're gonna, you know, I can't do that, you know. Even though I wish I could, you know. And then I may lose viewers. I'm like, nobody wants to watch. You know. I used to. Rachel Ray was a big catalyst for me when she cooked. You know, especially when she used to say, one day, and it's funny, my friend Rose, who you guys saw in the video with the cookies, she told me, she said that's the same kind of story she had too. She said, I said, when I started watching Rachel Ray, my parents and I watched regularly when she first on the Food Network, when they said, premiering so-and-so 30-minute meals with Rachel Ray. I remember, you know, and she goes, I was in the kitchen and stuff like that. She goes, grab yourself a mop bean. I'm like, she said a mop bean. Oh my gosh, I can't believe she said that. And then my friend Rose said to me, she goes, my friend's daughter goes, Mom, she said, she goes, did she just say mop bean? So it's like, we all heard, like, it's funny, we heard the same thing. So it's like, oh my gosh, this woman's like relatable, you know? Mop bean, if you guys don't know, is basically, get yourself a mop bean, clean it up, kitchen towel in Italian. Mop bean, clean up. Alright, so I think we're at this point right now. And if you guys are just tuning in, I see a couple people who came in. We're making Italian sausage and peppers, and we're at the stage now where the sausage is actually, I think, done. I'm going to test one just to be sure, so that way we're not eating anything raw. Because even though it's going to cook more when the sausage and peppers are in, you just want to make sure it's not, you know, not raw. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah. It's pretty much cooked through. Yeah. Definitely. Alright. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn the heat off. And I'm going to add some to the bowl. But let me tell you, when you bite into that sauce with the fennel in it, because the fennel is so good. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna strain it. I should use a slotted spoon, it would have been better. But I'm gonna try to drain the fat as best I can. because we're going to use that fat. Matter of fact, I think I am going to add garlic. And I do have garlic. You guys may, Italians out there may be like, I'm using jar garlic. Just a little to give it some flavor, not a lot. So I'm just straining this out. Sometimes, guys, if you don't have some tools, that's all right. You make do with what you have, and you try to do the best you can to do it. I like to tell, like when I was doing the peppers, when I was blanching them in the video, what a job that was. I had to edit because it was like they were not going down, they weren't floating. They were terrible. So now we have our fat and our oil rendered from the sausage. I'm gonna bring that right back on the stove again. I'm gonna set this aside. I'm gonna set this aside, and then we're going to get out our garlic. Okay, we're gonna start our garlic first. Well, actually, yeah, we'll start our garlic first. Now, I want to show you something really, really, really good. A really good tip, guys. A very, very, very good tip. And I think you guys are really gonna really appreciate it about garlic. Now, I know what Italian uses minced garlic in a jar. This Italian does because I don't chop up garlic often, and I want it to fast on hand. My parents used to make their own garlic. They used to grind it up, put it in oil, wax paper. They used to do it like that. My parents were like, we made our own roasted peppers. We made our own chopped garlic, or whole garlic, and it would stay until a certain point, and then we chopped it if we had to, if we went bad. There's nothing wrong. If you want to use chopped fresh garlic, it's your option. The world's your oyster on that. So you could do what you want. But my parents did it this. I just bought it and make it easy because I don't have the time or the room to make garlic right now. Otherwise, I would have. It's like making tomato sauce when you make tomatoes. It's a big deal. So here is the tip I want to show you guys when you're doing garlic. This is very, very good. You're going to appreciate it. You probably say, well, you're going to add that to garlic to the thing. That suck is going to burn. Yeah, it will burn. But don't fret because I'm going to show you right now what you do. Watch this. I'm going to take a jar right now. Okay? But I'm going to do something completely so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn our heat back on. If you guys coming in, we're making sausage and peppers. I'm going to turn this back on. I'm going to get this to about medium. Okay? It's already starting to twinkle a little bit. Get that moving around. We're going to add our garlic. Okay? Now, I'm adding about a tablespoon. I'm going to add about a tablespoon. But I want to show you something that's very, 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 very important in what I'm talking about this tip. So about a tablespoon of garlic, right? It's going to burn. You're damn right it's going to burn. But guess what? Add a tablespoon of water to your garlic, to your oil. Like that. Depending on what you got. About a tablespoon, maybe a little more than that. Now I want you to watch this now. I have it on medium. Okay? That's gonna burn, right? No. Because guess what? There's water in there. There's water. Yeah, it's going a little violent, and that's fine. Just add a little bit of more water to it. Just a little more. So your rule is a tablespoon or maybe two. And watch. The garlic does not burn or doesn't cook as fast as it is. Yeah, see how it's not burning it at all, really? It's going fast, but it's not burning. By adding that tablespoon of water, you're allowing not the oil to get so hot that it's going to burn fast. It's going to give it slow. And then you can lower your heat if you like to adjust it, and that's fine. Notice, see it now? Just stir it around. See? It's not burning. It's getting toasty, but it's not burning. Okay? Okay, now, while that's happening, the garlic's going to have an aroma. At that very moment, we're going to add our onions to the pan. That will also stop the cooking from the garlic to even go further from burning. Okay? So now we're going to mix up our onions. Chop up your onions. If you haven't got the chance to chop the onion to break it up, you can break it up in your pan. That's not a problem. Now I have this at a medium. In a minute, I'm going to turn up the heat a bit. Okay? I'm going to get this brown a little bit, just to break this up a bit. Okay? And then we're going to hit this with a little bit of... I got all this crap in the kitchen here because I'm trying to come up with ideas here. A little bit of salt. And I'm not going to hit this, I'm just going to hit this with a little salt. Salt helps out to sweat out the liquids, the water in the onions. So we want that. We want to get that all sweated out so it evaporates and creates a caramelization. Now, you see the garlic is not burning on the bottom at all. If I pick it up and show you. See that? The garlic is not burned. Had I put it on high like that, it would have burned completely. Especially if you didn't turn the heat off, pulling the sauce out, and you're like, I'm going to do it right now. Your garlic would burn completely. But that's your tip. Add a tablespoon of water or 2 tablespoons of water to your pan when you're cooking garlic in the beginning, and it won't burn. And watch the heat too. Because the garlic became fragrant. Now, I'm going to increase the heat. We're going to increase the heat to maybe 6 here. So it allows the onions to go a little bit. And then once that goes, I'm going to add our peppers in like this. Right? That's done. Alright, get that out of the way. In the sink. Get that done in. Stir that around. Okay. Okay. I'm going to let that cook. I'm going to increase the heat a little bit on that more. And then we'll watch it. We'll watch it and we'll get it to a point where we start to notice it's starting to wilt down, it's starting to cook, and whatever. Now, if you want to put the top on here, you can, but I don't suggest it because you don't want so much liquid in there that it's going to be too liquidy because it's going to create steam. So just leave it off and just check on it, give it a little shake, shimmy, stir it up occasionally. How you guys doing in here? Sketchy Chef, hello, hola, how you doing? We are making sausage and peppers tonight. Yes, it's almost midnight here, but guess what? That's okay, because we're cooking late. So what I just did, if you just came in, Sketchy Chef, we cooked our sausage down. We cut up our peppers, our onions, and we cooked down our sausage. We rendered the fat out of that, and we added then some garlic to the pan. I did a tip when you're doing cooking garlic so it doesn't burn. And then we added back, no more fat because the fat was rendered from a little bit of the olive oil I had put in here and the sausage. Then I added the onions and the peppers. We just added in. Add a little salt before I added the peppers. Hit it, let them sweat a little bit, and now we'll let that cook down. Let me show you the sausage. That's what it is. This is Italian sweet sausage. So how are you doing? How you doing tonight? What are you up to? What did you make tonight for dinner? For your kids, the kids that don't appreciate it. Kids. I love your videos. I love your videos. It's hysterical. So yeah, so what we're going to do is, I'm just mixing, so you want to mix this around, Just get that all in. That pepper's... What did I have? The pepper, like... So... I don't see anybody talking. Oh, okay. I saw somebody. Welcome. If you just came into the live, we're doing sausage and peppers, Italian style. A little different. We're adding sauce to it, and this is my version my mom used to make, and it was I used to like it. My dad liked it. Again, my dad made it different than my mom did. She made it with sauce, and my dad liked it the traditional way, like you get at the food trucks and stuff like that. And usually during the summertime, you see sausage and peppers because that's a big thing when everybody's out and about in the summertime. You know, they go out and they start eating, you know, on the trucks, and they try all different vendors and food and stuff like that. You know, Zeppelis. And my friend Frank, when he owned the pizzeria, his parents had a food truck, so they used to do local events, and they would make Zeppelis, but they made it with pizza dough because even though Zeppeli dough is different than pizza dough, it's easy just to they cook the same way, and that's how they made their Zeppelis. They would take the pizza dough, and he had his way of twisting it, and that was his like ribbon, his style of what he did. My friend's dad, and it was very good, and they did that many years, different trucks and stuff like that. So. So it was good, you know. I enjoyed working from his dad and his mom and dad, and you know, I was cook at the restaurant, and it was good. My friend Frank taught me a lot that I didn't know about the restaurant stuff, and a lot of tips and tricks and stuff like that. And I have a video of him showing how to do pasta. I don't know where it is. I don't know. I'm going to ask him if I can. He said I could post it, but this is a little different. This was in the pizzeria right before he closed last year. So now we got I got the peppers cooking in there, and they're starting to get some shininess to it. So we're going to let that cook down. Hang out for a bit, see what you guys are up to. I don't know who else is in here, but welcome to the chat. I hope you guys are having a really good night. I appreciate you stopping in and seeing what's going on live here. And if you have for the first time, my name is Chris, and I cook, and I do other things as well, but majority is cooking and baking and stuff like that. And this is my first time doing live, and I'm hoping to do other lives as well. And I really appreciate you. Thank you for all your gifts, all your likes, all your shares, and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I like this community, and I know some people don't like certain things that people do, and that's fine. And I'm not mad, you know. But I mean, we all kind of, you know, we don't like certain things people like, and that's okay. Everybody don't have to like everything. But I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out. So here's the rest of it. Now I'll just move that a little more. Now it's starting to really, really get down there. Now you want to also start to break up a little more as it cooks. So sometimes when you cook, I should say sometimes when you chop stuff, you don't break it up. It doesn't get broken up as like you really want to. But this is the opportunity to start breaking up your vegetables in the pan, so that way they cook evenly and they get stuck, and you want to cook them down a bit. Oh, it smells so good in here, guys. Now, I said I'm going to add some Italian seasonings to it. I'm not going to add it right now. I'm going to add it in a little bit until it gets to a certain point. Then I'll add it because we want this to really cook down a little more. but it smells so freaking amazing in here, guys. From the sausage, the fennel, when it cooked, when I tasted it, so good. You're scared. Hey, the chef! What's going on, man? What are you doing? ¿Qué tal, man? What's going on? We're making sausage and peppers, Italian sausage and peppers tonight, but we're doing it different. We're gonna add it the way my mom used to make it, different from what my dad used to make it. I hope you're doing well, man. Thanks for stopping in. I hope you. I like your lives. I like your videos too, man. You got some good food. Jerry says, I am. Jerry, I'll tell you something. I was too. I told Kaz too. I was like, I'm nervous. I said I'm a little, because he wants me to do make sofrito with him. I'm a little nervous, and because he wants me to do it, and I said, yeah, now I'm gonna do it. I just got nervous. I was scared, but now I feel more comfortable doing it. You know, because I'm like, you know, that's what it is. You know. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, so we were talking about from New York City. I used to live in the Bronx for a short time, and I grew up in Brooklyn, like Ridgewood, Bushwick area, and you know, and so I hope you're doing well, man. I know it's kind of late stream, late live. I'm so used to calling Twitch stream because the stream, stream live. It's almost the same thing, right? Because you're streaming. All right. So you see that? You see, I don't know how we're up to that point here. All right. Now, as we get down, I'm going to actually add some of the Italian seasonings. But now, again, I don't have the Italian seasonings made up because I ran out. I didn't get the time. I was going to do a video on it, so I share it with you guys. But I'm just going to add from my memory, you know, some things. So I'm going to add some. We're going to add a little bit of rosemary to this. And it's not verbatim. I'm doing this honestly. I'm doing this on a whim, on fly. Pepper. We got some parsley. I'm going to add a little bit of parsley too. Sometimes this thing gets stuck in here. You know what they say? You cook with your heart. You measure with your heart, right? When you're making Italian and Latino food, you got to measure with your heart, right? So that's what you do, right? So we do oregano. We got some oregano in here. And we got some thyme, because we got to put thyme in there too. We got a lot of thyme. How to make a joke. We got some garlic powder. We're going to add a little bit of garlic powder in there too. Now, you can add red pepper flakes is also in there, and that's optional in the recipe. But I like red hot pepper. I think, did I do parsley already? I did parsley. Okay. And fennel, we don't need fennel. A little bit of onion powder. I'm going to put a little onion powder in there too. Even though we got lots of onion in there. And that is really it. But I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper too. But I like white pepper better because I feel like I thought I was allergic. I'm allergic to black pepper in very high, like if people put a lot of black pepper and black peppercorns, I get blisters in my mouth. I'm telling the truth right now. Because what happens is my grandmother got it too. So I like to add white pepper. White pepper, I see that doesn't happen. What happens is I got to rinse my mouth out very fast with like a lot of black pepper, and otherwise I get blisters in my mouth. I don't know why. I try to like research and see if that's common. I couldn't find anything. But my maternal grandmother got it, and I had it too. So now we're going to just mix this up really well, and it smells really amazing. That really goes well. Oh man. Now you're starting to see it's starting to get a little bit of color on there now. And that's what we're going for. And so we're gonna get that to that point. Now I like to test to see the seasonings in here because I like to see where we're at seasoning wise, and then I'll add more if I need it to be. So I'm gonna get fork. I just like to check it just a little bit. That's kind of spicy because of the pepper, but it's good. I think we're good. I think we're perfect. Very good. It's looking pretty good. So, check the chat, see what's going on here. Cooking goes all types of hours. Yeah, St. Gennaro feet. God, you know the last time I've been to that? Oh my gosh, man. Like, I can't remember. I think I was a kid or something, maybe even older than that. I don't remember. But, I can tell you that, I used to like to get, if you ever try the nougat candy, Toblerone, I think it's, I haven't had that in years. Toblerone, it's really good. It's that nougat candy. Oh my gosh, my cousin used to get it all the time. When she used to go, and I didn't go, but she went, to bring it back. She'd bring like 2 of them. Man, that was good. But the sauce and peppers are off the cook, man. Let me tell you. Wow. Crazy. It's amazing. It's like, and they cook it so good. And it's like, they take that fork and they're like, you're like, dang, it's so good. Yeah, but you can't beat those feasts, man. You can't beat those feasts. I'm gonna just get something to drink fast. Alright, I'm back. I had to get myself something to drink. I'm thirsty. Got some Diet 7 Up. I'm gonna laugh at this. I've been buying this because I saw Sherry Bama make that cake with the 7 Up, and it was with the strawberries, and I never made it. I kept buying it, and I bought the strawberries. I never made it. I wanted to eat the strawberries and then drinking the thing, and I'm like, I'm never gonna make this stuff. Like, you buy it. I was like, I'm gonna make it, and I never get some chance to make it. So I got some butter beans here. I had some butter beans because butter beans is really good, like alternative, like for mashed potatoes. That's what I found out. So I'm gonna give this a stir. Oh, look at that! Look at the. You can see on how it's really coming to color here. Now, we want to get this cooked down until they're very soft and tender and really, almost like really got good color on it. So, we're going to do that. Now, I'm going to cover this for 1 minute. I'm going to cover this. And we're going to let this go. I'm not going to cover it fully, but I want it so to create some steam. And just to add a little bit of liquid in there, just a little steam to get that down. And then we'll take it off and we'll give it a mix. I like to put the thing on there as it cooks down a little bit, but I don't cover it completely. I just leave it off. Just maybe about 5-6 minutes, something like that. Just to give it some, so it helps it create some steam to cook it a little bit. Yeah, and we may get some liquid and water, but remember, when you take something off the top, you always want to take it off. You never want to tilt your lid because you're going to bring water back into it. Very important too. And if you watch the video when I made arroz con gandules, That's a big thing. You never let your lid tip in and let the liquid go back in, because then you can't get rid of it. Especially like with rice, you really can't. Hey, Chef God, check this out. Italian sausage I made, cooked down. We cut it up, and we got some like fennel. Oh, the fennel tastes so good here, dude. Oh my gosh, man, it's amazing. So we're just waiting for that until that's done, and we'll add that back in and add some sauce. And we cooking, man. We're cooking. What did you add to the onion and peppers? Oh, I added on I added some salt, a little salt before we actually. What I did first was we took the rest of the whatever fat was in there from the sausage. I added some garlic to that, minced garlic. I added some water so it didn't burn. I added onions, added salt to that, let it sweat a bit, then add the peppers, and then add some Italian seasonings, which I didn't have any made up because I didn't get a chance to, because my dad's recipe. So I just added the stuff that he puts in, and I just did an eyeball, and that's what we added so far. What we're going to add is, once I add the peppers back in, the sausage back in, we're going to add some sauce. We're going to do it a little different. As I mentioned earlier, my mom made it a certain way, and my father made it a certain way. My dad made it like the traditional way you get at the St. Gennaro feast, but my mom would add sauce to it and make it like a little saucy with green peppers and stuff. So you put on hero, so you got that like sauce. And sometimes what we would do is we would add mozzarella cheese on it and bake it in the oven. Okay? So I say that towards the end. So, alright, I'm going to check this and see what we're at right now. I didn't want to lift that up and let that go in, but I wound up doing it. But that's okay. But that's going to burn off because we really have nothing really left in this thing. Let's turn the heat down a little bit because it is steaming up in this kitchen. You know what they say, you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Alright, so you can see our pepper's really getting soft here. And it is actually really cooking down really well. It's looking really well. And we're not really there yet, but we will be soon. But like I said, we really want these cooked down. And we'll test the pepper to see if it's like really done. But I'm gonna really put this lid back on again. Halfway in there. Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, I don't got a roll or anything. I was telling Jerry, and I don't have a roll, but I got some keto bread going on, so I didn't buy any rolls because I didn't get a chance. I had bought the stuff a bit, like about a few days ago, but then it slipped my mind to buy rolls and stuff, and I said, you know what? You can eat it just like that too, by itself. Do keto, and you can add your keto roll if you want, or whatever. You know, it's good. So, yeah, man. Yeah, so it's a little different with the sauce, because, you know, a little different. And it's just so weird, because my dad, like I said, my dad made it a different way, my mom did. And, but it always was good. And, so what are you making this week? Anything new making? And by the way, guys, if you're just coming into the live, my name is Chris, and I cook, and we're making some Italian sausage and peppers, a little with sauce, the sauce version of it. And we're just at the time where we're letting everything, peppers and onions, already in the pan. We already cooked our sausage. That's already cooked and set aside. Now we're just cooking down the peppers and onions, and we added some Italian seasonings to that. And we'll let it cook down until it gets nice and caramelized a little bit, the onion, and let the onion and the actual peppers get nice and soft. And then we'll add our sauces back in, and then we'll add some sauce to that. And then we'll heat it through, and we'll be done. Give this a check again. Looking really, getting nice and dark too. See that how the peppers are starting to get really mushy, soft a bit, and the onion, and it's starting to get a chard on there. That's what we're looking for too. And I like to test the pepper to see where we're at when we test it. We're not there yet. Get my hand on the thing. We're not there yet, but we're gonna let this go for a little more. And let me see what you said here in the chat. Welcome into the chat, everyone. Welcome into the live. Who's just joining us? We're doing sausage and peppers, sauce version, Italian dish. And right now we're almost done, but we're waiting for the peppers to onion down. Oh, onion down. I just created onion down. Onion down. We're doing onion down. Onion down. We're cooking down. The sausage, the peppers and onions. Oh no! Well, it's midnight, so hey, what do you expect? So, but I want to thank you guys for who's came in alive tonight so far and joined me and stayed with me and watched, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, this is my first live. I never do live. I was a little nervous, but I think as a community we support each other, and it's awesome that we do, because then we're able to share what we know and help each other out. Because a lot of times, like, I learned something new. I learned, like, for example, somebody did like meat and stuff, like testing a steak, and I would just test it the way I would test it. But I learned this a long time ago, but I got it mixed up. I thought you had to do this on your hand. No, but it's this, and then it's on here. And I learned that from Kaz. See, I didn't know that. I was doing it wrong. You learn something new every day. And that's what we do, guys, in our community. We help each other. We learn and we grow, and that's a good thing. It smells amazing in here. Jeez. Smells so good. Alright, I'm going to check this again. Stir again. Now, people don't like the sausage and peppers to be so, like, have a bite to it. You want to have them soft. Not that they're, like, mush, but you want to have them where the skins are nice and charred a bit, and they're good to eat. Almost like, kind of like in this one. Like that. We try it, you'll know what I'm talking about. They have a tiny little bite to it, but they're nice and soft. So now, I'm going to let this go for another 3 minutes, and then we're going to add our sausage back in, and then we're going to get our sauce. Now, let's talk about sauce. You can add tomato sauce if you want. You can add your marinara sauce if you want. You can add whatever sauce you want on it. I have a jar of Rails. Now, and as I mentioned in the video, and this is my view on jar sauce. Okay? I'm Italian, diehard of old school, and I don't believe in jar sauce. My grandmother roll around in a grave, blah, 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 yes. But there's an exception. And the exception is a product imported by Italy. That's different because it doesn't have all those preservatives in like ragu. I'm not saying those bad sauces, but I'm saying they're not like what you would make when you make homemade. It's got all the crap in it. Rayo's really don't have that stuff. Rayo's actually has a low carb, very low sugar for low carb. And that's the way we're closest to do when you make homemade sauce. You don't really, what do you put in there? Make meat, you know, you make your braciole and all that stuff. If you choose to do just meat, you're really not really going to get that same thing in a jar sauce. But Rayo's is different. So I have Rayo's, and I'm going to use that. I will get to making my own sauce because now it's nice, cool out. Summertime, I don't cook sauce. You know, and I really don't eat macaroni, pasta, like I used to. But I'm going to be making it because you could do so much with it. Yes. Exactly, guys. You got it. You know, and I said, you know, I did cakes. I took courses and stuff, and I learned. And I had a friend who taught me too, a lot of stuff, and cakes. And that's what I was doing. But when I moved, I had my stuff is still packed away. I have my cake boards. I have my stuff here. Here. Built in all my stuff, all my boards and everything, my cake pans, they're all put away because I don't have the time. I don't have really the time. My mixer, I have a professional KitchenAid mixer that's in the cabinet here, but I don't really use. I used it one time since I've been here. I made one cake, like for my friend who I made a Black Forest cake from scratch. You know, so. But that's what I did. I made cakes for people, baking them for years, and that's what I do. But I cook too. I cook really well, so I'm like, but that's not like on the back burner right now, the cakes. But I still make stuff. You saw my cakes that I made, you know, Starbucks thing and stuff like that. I mean, that's not bad. All right, so check this one more time. I think we're really at this point. You can see when I move it around, how like it's getting, how soft it is. It's swaying back and forth really. You know that you're at that point right now. So we're really there. Look at that. See how mushy it's getting? And that's fine. It's got a little bit of give to it, and that's fine. Now we're gonna lower the heat. I'm gonna bring it to 2. And then we're gonna add our sausage back in here. And you bring your drippings in, bring your liquid in there, everything must go in. That's all your yum-yums. I'm calling it yum-yums. Yum-yums. You know, like, oh my god, it's so good! You know what I'm saying? So, and now we're going to incorporate all this back in. Give that a awesome mix. We're going to let this go for about 3 minutes. That should be enough to get this all heated through. In the meantime, we're going to get our sauce out. Now I use some of it on something else, and I'm going to add that to this. So we're going to let that go. I'm going to put the lid on halfway now, like this, just to let it so it cooks through. I'm going to get my sauce in the refrigerator. Brand sauce. But honestly, because it's imported from Italy. And again, I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not knocking people who use jar sauce. You know what I'm saying? It's just that my father, he buy jar sauce because that's all he really had the time for. Sometimes he made it from scratch, and he doctored it up. He doctored it up because, you know, whatever. But you know, we Italians, you know, Italian people are very offended by it. You didn't make your own sauce. some people don't have the time, and it's sad. Oh, people don't have the time. They do it. No, some people don't. They use it to make fast. And then you'll see people make all these things with the jar sauce things, and like you're looking at them. What are you putting pasta in? Why? You know what I'm saying? People do what they want to do. There's nothing wrong with it. Some things are really unorthodox, and you're like, what were they thinking? You know, I'm not trying to knock anybody, but it's funny. Like, you're like, what? You're like, what the heck, man? I'm not good with making pastries. Yeah, you know something? Royal icing. You know something? I'll let this go for a minute. I learned everything. Royal icing, I learned fondant. I make my own fondant, but I haven't done this in a long. My cousin, my first cousin, did cake. She learned, I don't know if she took a course or whatever. She makes the fondant from scratch too, marshmallow. Because I said, I don't like Wilton fondant, and I'm going to tell you why. It's disgusting. I hate to say it. It's horrible. The one that I rather make my own, or I use the ice. What's that? Satin ice. I'll use satin ice because that's really good. That's the only one I'll use. Wilton, if I'm really desperate, but I know how to do all that. But I prefer buttercream. I prefer royal icing. My big strength is flowers. My friend Suzanne, if she's in live here, she'll tell you she's seen everything I do. She's tasted my stuff. So she tells you I'm really good at what I do. That's what I want to do. I wanted to be a pastry chef. When I couldn't be a regular chef. And then not being on the Food Network kind of dissuaded me. But, like I said, I didn't make it because I had to withdraw my application for it. But anyways, you know, so we'll let this. I'm gonna just give this another mix, and I'm gonna get this to where it's nice and heated through, and it should be now, because by putting that thing on there, the lid, it's allowing the steam to come through and allowing it to heat through. So we should be good now. All right. So now. We're gonna add our sauce to this. You want to add maybe about a cup of sauce or something like that, like this, something like that. You can add as much as you like. I really have no preference, but I want to get this. I may have to add more, but I was only eyeballing it. That might have just been that's a little more. Half a cup and stuff like that. So you may have to add a little more. Like I said, you may want a little saucy. It all depends on how you do it. I say like a cup and a half. So, pepper overboard. Pepper overboard. Jump back in, baby. Pepper overboard. They try to commit food suicide. Food suicide. No food suicide here. But look, just look at this. You know, I love the traditional way, but for the love of God, who doesn't love this way? Look how good it is. And that's sausage pepper sub. People have done it like that. And then you put cheese on it, and you put it in So we're going to let this heat through a bit. And I'm going to let this go on low. I'm going to let this go on low for about 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes, just to heat the sauce through. And now you could put the lid on fully and let that come up to a bubble or whatever. And then we'll able to plate it up, or maybe I'll put it on a little thing and I'll show you. So anyway, guys, what are you guys up to now, too? Let's see. Yes, thank you. Oh, thanks. Tap that screen, guys. Thank you. Buttercream flowers, I always wanted to learn. I'm trying to get into that Food Talk TV group. I want to go live for them. To be honest, I was going to, but considering the fact that what happened with the about years ago, I haven't gone live. This is my first live. I'm not sure because like Kaz wanted me to do the thing with him, and I really was kind of debating because I didn't know if my kitchen would have, you know what I'm saying? I was supposed to dog sit for a friend, and I had the whole kitchen for the whole week. That would have been perfect, but then they had a death in the family, so they didn't go away. I only watched the dogs for one day because they went to do something before the father did. If the father-in-law passed, they took the son somewhere just for the one day to be local, and then he wound up dying the next day. So they made a good choice of not going away for the week. So I only watched the dogs for one day. I would have had the whole week, and I would have did this video that he wanted. I would have did it live with him, do it together, me and him, like he does. But I was considering about doing the Food Talk TV thing. I was, but there's a lot of stuff that going on. But I hope maybe I will. I consider it. You should. I like you, dude. You're very good. You're really good. You're very good on the camera, and you got. I think it's all about personality. I think it's all about what you share, how you share it, and what you do, because it's very important. And you're probably saying, how do I know how to cook Puerto Rican food? Well, my uncle is Puerto Rican, and he married into the family, and I learned. My uncle and aunt taught me how to make everything. And people have my food, like, for people, like, they're like, it tastes just like my mother-in-law's. How did you learn? And you know what it is? I have a love for Puerto Rico. I always did. And I appreciate, the food is, it's just freaking amazing, bro. I can eat rice. I can eat arroz con gandules. I can live on it. Seriously. But, I love everything. I grew up with it too, because I lived in Ridgewood, Bushwick. So my uncle, we would go to like the Cuchi Frito and all that stuff in Bushwick, and we'd eat morcilla, but I don't eat that stuff anymore. But I made rellenos de papa before. I made chicken empanadillas. I made all that stuff. It's a good food, man. It's good food, bro. It's like with Italian and Puerto Rican, it's practically the same thing. We cook with our hearts, bro. And you cook with love, man. That's what it's about. I think so too. Yeah, I think they. I didn't hear, but I figured they were, because you really have a very good thing. I think that's what Kaz was interested in. I think he wanted me. That's why he was asking me to do a video with him. I think he was. He didn't say it, but I really think. But I was considering it, because I think I have a lot to offer. I think we both do. Honestly, I think the love of food is what brings us all together, man. And like I just said, there's love. There's love in it. Like I picture, like when I was a kid, I was like, and when I cooked, and I was cooking and baking with my mom and stuff like that, and it was like more like I see people, like I don't know how I'm saying it, but like we stand and eat, and everybody's sitting eating, like everybody's like happy. Yeah, it was so good. And everybody's laughing, having a good time. That's what brings people together, food, and they're happy. It maybe sounds crazy or stupid, but I don't think so. That's what I always see. That's why I like food. I appreciate it, because it brings us together. Food is memories. Good, man. Good. Yes. No, they don't. Because I would figure they were going to ask me to do it, but I do everything. So you would be perfect. You should. You should do it. because you'd be very good. Your food is like off the chain, dude. I was when I first was in your live, I was watching and I'm like, let's see what he does. I'm like, you made that shrimp and all that shit, and you put the little flag. I'm like, the presentation was off the chain, bro. No, it was good. I was like, I love this guy, dude. I'm like, follow immediately, follow. Yes, like, and I've watched other people cook. Like I've seen, like I watch, Beatrice. I watch her. I've been watching Father since I started on TikTok. She's one of the first people I watched. And Evie, who she hasn't been on, but we've become like really good friends. And she's like, she's made stuff that I haven't seen since I'm a kid, like you know she made something with bacalaito or something with the rice, and I'm like, I haven't seen that. My uncle, his in-laws would make it when I used to go. We had like one time, it was my cousin's baby shower for the second cousin before he was born, and the sister-in-law made, what did she make? Camille made escabeche y mollave, but she made it like in like a guisado. I was a kid. I had it. It was delicious, bro. It's like stuff like that. Like I haven't had since I'm a kid. Delicious. You'd be perfect, dude. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like I really think. See, like I had those. That's why I pinned those 3 videos, because I made sofrito. I did a video on YouTube years ago, but my YouTube account got reported. Somebody hacked into my account, so I lost all that stuff. And I don't have here in upstate where I live. We only have cilantro, and we don't have recao, we don't have ajís y dulces. I've been using like the peppers, the Italian peppers, the frying peppers. I found out years ago that could have been it's almost like the same thing in some ways. So I had to use that, and add more cilantro to thing, and that's what I was doing all these years. But the only closest place I can get it is Albany, but they only have like a small little bodega, which I don't traveling like 28 miles to go. Then my family lives in Waterbury, Connecticut. That's where they live, and they got everything there. And that's it. When I lived in Bushwick, I was able to go to the freaking market down there, and they had like so much of it, like it was going out of your ears, bro. So, yeah, I mean, me too. I'm so blessed, dude. Seriously, I'm so blessed. Because I think, I'll let this go a little lower. It can chill for a bit. But honestly, I've come across a lot of people that I became really good friends with, especially Food Talk TV people, and Kaz, they're awesome. They seriously, Sherry, Ashton, Sketchy Chef, Trisha. I love them. They're sweet. They're the most. I never felt more welcome than ever, honestly. And usually TikTok, I was gonna do why I was doing like stupid things on TikTok, funny things like trends and that stuff. And then I said, well, I don't want to. I'm Christian, so I was gonna do like biblical stuff and all that stuff. And I was like, no, people report you right away. You get knocked off, and people got doing to heck. So I said, let me just do food, because let me do my other passion that I like, food and cake and all that stuff. So I did that. My friend and my pals were like, do that. You don't want to get like thrown off of TikTok, because even though you're preaching whatever still they're gonna throw you off, and you don't want to do it. So I did food instead. Do you what you love, and I did. You know what I'm saying? So I did that instead. But everybody's been so welcoming, like you. Yeah, Brad, Sketchy and Bradley, yeah, they're awesome. I tell you, October Dragonfly, they're all really good. I like that. When I came across it, I'm like, they're like the Food Network of TikTok. like my friend Sue, she introduced me to TikTok. She says it's so much better than Facebook. It's better than YouTube, and even you got all your stuff. She says, I love it better than anything else. She said. I said, so I think I'm gonna do food. I told her, do what you love, and then she's telling, you gotta see this. We're talking. Then at church we're in the office. Did you see this? I sent you this. Did you see that? Did you see this? And we're like, yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we, and I'm glad because I really enjoy this side of TikTok. I really do. Oh, person. Yeah, definitely. Because I tell you something too, and that's why I said to my friend Sue, I'm thinking about talking to Kaz about it, and that's why I said I think that's why Kaz asked me to do the video. He wanted to see because he liked how I explain things and how I teach. I was gonna do like I just did coffee, like how to do a video on coffee. People don't know how to make coffee right, dude. When they make like a pot of coffee, so I did that. And yeah, he wanted me to help him like learn how to do sofrito and make it easy because people don't have the ingredients that you can get. The recao and the peppers and stuff. It's hard because you don't. You know what I'm saying? Unless you live in New York City or you live in an area that you're able to get it, that there's a big community. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So, I think I helped a lot of people want to make it. You know what I'm saying? So they have it. Okay, dude. I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna see on how it's going. I really think this is heated through really well. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Look at that, dude. Look at that, dude. Look at that, guys. Here, let me see if we can move it like this. Check this out. Look at that. That's amazing, dude. That looks really good. Alright, so I'm gonna turn this off. And I'm gonna get let's see, I'm gonna use, I got some keto wraps here. You've probably seen this Joseph's Lavish. And you can flat bread and stuff like that. I know it's not. Actually, wait a minute. Yeah. You know what? No, I got some bread from Aldi's. Some keto bread from Aldi's. We can use that. Yeah. So I'm gonna do something really good. I'm gonna put that on a sandwich. But what I'm gonna add to it is see this plate reminds me of Puerto Rico. My parents had this dish. It's nice. So I'm gonna put this like this right on the bread. Look at that. I mean, you could like eat it like with a fork and knife and just like go nuts with it, man. Because it looks so good. I'm gonna get some of that peppers, man. Look at that. I'm gonna go nuts. I'm just gonna, we should do an open face. Let's do open face. Look at that, man. Let's do that, some open face. You know what I'm gonna hit this with? Hold on one second, I'm gonna hit this with some cheese, bro. We're gonna get some grated cheese up in this place, man. I got some Pecorino Romano, man. Look at that. Try to see if I get this shot here, man. I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, you can see it. Break this up a bit. I'm gonna head to like this. Make it snow, baby. Make it snow. Yes. Ooh. This looks so good. Oh my gosh, guys. Honestly, look at that. Okay. I think the pot wants it. Some provolone cheese and lettuce. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I could do that even another time too. Okay, so let's see if let's do. Yeah, let's see if I. No, I don't think it's gonna work. But you know what? Hey, hold that door a minute. Got my knife here. Alright. You ready? I'm gonna cut into this bad boy. I'm gonna do it like this. With some bread here. Get it nice with the peppers and a sausage. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh crap. Alright. Get some of the pepper in here. Come on! Oh my gosh. Hold that thought a minute. We gotta get it. I gotta get some pepper up in here. Some pepper and then sausage on top of it. Ready? Here we go. You could taste the fennel. The fennel is like comes right through immediately. The peppers are soft, have a little tiny bite to it, but that's what you want. You know, they're soft, they're not like really bad. Got some of that bread. I don't know if I want the end of that thing. Oh my gosh. That's insane. I know, right? Can't be hating right now, right? Oh man. No, but it is really good. It's very good. I like the way this came out. And so oh crap. I'm like I gotta have another bite, man. But I wish I had a roll. I should have rolls. Maybe I will. And I'll have it with a roll. Yes, let's break bread. Exactly, Jerry. Let's break bread. I'm glad you guys enjoyed. Thanks for sticking around. I hope you guys really enjoyed the live. And I don't think I'm nervous anymore. I think I'm comfortable. A little bit. But you know what? It was worth it. Very much so. And I'm glad you guys stuck around. I want to thank you for the likes and thank you for the viewing, man, everyone. And the gifts that people gave, I believe they gave me some good gifts. And I appreciate that. And I'm going to call it a night because it is 12:39. I'm going to have to clean up and put everything away. And that's the craziest part about when you're cooking on live. You got to clean up because it doesn't do it itself. And unfortunately, I don't have a dishwasher. Oh, wait, I do. Me. So, thanks, guys, for watching. Good night, guys. Good night, the chef. Good night, every sketchy chef. Good night, Jerry. Good night, Bake. Oni, everyone that came in. Gluten-free Mama, everyone. Chris, Andrew, and everyone else. Michael, the baker. Thank you very much for everything you, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. And what a live. Take care, guys. Have a great night. God bless.